Richardson alongside Mr. Brandon Kay and, of course, Mr. Obi Spencer. And welcome to Streampunk Sports Thursday Night Football reaction, ramblings, and commentary as the suddenly surging Mac Jones and New England Patriots visit Atlanta, Matt Ryan, and the suddenly struggling Atlanta Falcons. This is going to be an interesting pickup right now because of the fact that one team is doing really well and the other team is struggling to just stay in playoff contention. And it's a kind of must-win game for both teams here. I'm going to start this off. Obi, I want to get your thoughts a little bit. Right now, like I said, the Patriots are suddenly on a hot streak. They are not that far out of first place, which 4 weeks ago nobody would have expected would happen. Give me some thoughts, sir.
So I think this game, or especially this, first of all, this team in the Patriots, they have three fantastic rookies, not just Mac Jones. And it all comes down to coaching, right? And you talk about it a lot. I mean, when you talk about when you argue that Haskins would have done well with the Giants because it would have been the right situation.
Yeah.
Situationally, Mac Jones fell right into everything where he needed to fall into, and he's taking full advantage of that situation. So that's the big takeaway for me with this game. Is I'm excited to see Mac Jones. I'm not excited to see. Matt Ryan at all. I'm not expecting anything special from him. So, yeah, I kind of agree with the Fanjex over there. I like the Pats by about 8 or 9.
Yeah. I think the same kind of thing. In this case here, Zircology had the same comment right now. So I'm going to highlight that guy right there. I think this is a team that's got a good shot to be able to basically double-digit win this thing. Like I said, they're riding high. Mac Jones is getting stronger by the week. I'm going to say 28-18. Brandon, I'm going to open it up to you because you've been quiet so far because I haven't called on you. Give me some thoughts, sir.
I think we find ourselves in a situation with the Patriots where they're one of the few teams that have kind of been on a steady trajectory in terms of how their season is going. They started off slow. A lot of teams do that. That's not the end of the world, but they've been on this upward trajectory slowly, and they've gotten this momentum where a lot of people are now thinking, can they even push the AFC, push the conference and even get to the Super Bowl, which people had no thoughts of coming into this season, regardless of who they had drafted at quarterback. Mac Jones definitely fell into a fantastic situation with Belichick and even Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator. Let's not forget him. I think the two of them with Mac Jones have really dialed in on a system, on play calling, which isn't too different than what they ran with Brady. They brought in Hunter Henry to kind of emulate the Gronk factor of it. So I think the Patriots have found themselves in a pretty good position to win this game. I don't trust Atlanta at all. They've been up and down all year, and they pretty much haven't been the same since the Super Bowl debacle.
Mm-hmm.
And having this kind of rematch, so to speak, on Monday night, I think might get to them later in the game. I'm going to pick the Patriots. I don't see a situation with the Falcons winning at all, to be quite honest with you, even at home.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 27-21 Patriots.
All right. Captain Raff is going with the Pats 17-14. A little closer than everything we've had so far, but I can respect that. Surprisingly, a lot of the Thursday night games have not been high-scoring affairs, but I think in this case it'll be modest. I think it'll be a solid. It'll be close. I think for the first half, and then I think inevitably New England is just going to take over and just run away with this.
I will add one other thing. I'm glad we got some people watching the game with us. I think that's great. But I do think this game is really, and we're saying it, it's about how good are these New England Patriots. It is conceivable that they can lose to this average team, a 4-5 team, and that they're really just an average team who beats up on bad teams because Bill Belichick isn't going to lose to a bad team, and bad teams are going to make mistakes, and the Patriot team is going to take advantage of it. or they're actually a good team that's going to challenge Buffalo. I don't expect to see that here at all. And I don't think anything, because this is a Bill Belichick team, I don't really know that I'm going to learn anything by watching this game, because Bill Belichick could take the greatest team in the NFL, play the worst team in the NFL, and win by 7. Like, that's just who he is. Like, he just, I'm not, like, if he can run up the score, nothing's going to stop him. He's not a nice guy like that. It's just that his goal is to win the game, and he coaches for the situation that the game is in. And yeah, Buffalo isn't perfect, like Van Jackson says. Not at all. They've got everybody in the NFL has problems. Everybody in the NFL has problems. Whether it's AJ Green can't turn around on a pass in the end zone, and then the quarterback gets hurt for a week. A lot of quarterbacks going down with injuries, getting themselves sick. Defensive players going down, or the defense isn't a complete defense, or they can't play defense in Kansas City except against bad teams. Like, everybody has problems this year in the NFL. And that plays into Bill Belichick's hands, because he's the guy who exploits your problems. He's the guy who changes his game plan every week and goes, oh, against you, I can run with Ramondre Stevenson. And against you, I can throw to my tight ends. Oh, and against you, I only need to score 6 points in the Super Bowl because my defense is going to shut you down, McVay, because I figured it out and nobody else has.
Yeah. But
he's also – no, I was going to say he's also the best coach at individually picking out his opponent's either best player or their number one option, and completely eliminates that and makes the rest of the team beat them. It's very rare to say that a Patriot team beat themselves. So for them, they're always prepared, always buckled up. So I think they're not going to be surprised with anything Atlanta throws at their way. I think they're really going to eliminate Kyle Pitts, who we just saw. I think Calvin Ridley's good to go. So I think between the two of them, I think he's going to do a good job kind of decreasing their production over the course of the game.
Now, in this case, mentioning Atlanta for a second. Atlanta's, like I said, right now sitting at 4-5. They're at the bottom of the NFC South. Is this panic mode yet? Is this, and if it is not now, if they lose tonight, does it become that?
I don't think so. We were talking about this whole playoff picture now, that especially since the Niners had won, and how that whole bottom of the wild card area of the standings, who's on the outside looking in, I think it's blown open a little bit. If Atlanta lost this game, I wouldn't say it's the end of the season for them. But I would say they probably can't afford to lose this game if they really want to make a playoff appearance.
Sure.
I think we've gotten to the second half of the season now. Even when you add that 17th game, especially with that team who's really on the fringe, very inconsistent, I think we're at a point now where every game is for them is a must win.
Now in this case, taking a step further, if they end up missing the playoffs and losing this game would put them to 4-6, 10-7, I think gets you in. 9-8, I don't think will this season. Matt Ryan has the option of actually getting out of his contract this year. Do you think he would do that?
Yes. And I think that Atlanta would be happy to let him do that. Here's why. I think they got Pitts, but losing Ridley was an issue. I don't know what Ridley's long-term mental state is. Let's presume he's going to come back. I think if I'm Atlanta, I'm going to go into next year with a question mark at quarterback. And if I'm bad, get somebody in the not next year's draft, the following draft. Well, getting Pitts another year to mature, hopefully getting Riley back, seeing if Cordell Patterson is a fluke this year. You'll learn a lot. In the long-term growth, the Falcons are going to learn a lot next year. And they'll learn more if they don't have Ryan. And I think Ryan is going to be a guy who's going to be in a particular position to take a shot at maybe the Steelers' job, maybe the 49ers' job if they had decided that Trey Lance ain't the guy. Heck, maybe the Jets' job, or Houston. Houston's going to probably be. There's a lot of teams that are going to be in need of a quarterback.
I don't want Matt Ryan.
I don't think the Jets want him. The Giants, I would consider maybe.
Okay, but don't focus on the particular.
Mike White can't.
Don't focus on the particular teams I'm saying, but focus on the fact that there are teams out there that are going to be like, I'm a quarterback away. Matt Ryan may be that guy.
I mean, I don't know. My take on this is that as a Giants fan, I would consider it. Daniel Jones, if he doesn't have it this year, and right now it's not looking great for him so far, they have to start considering moving on. If you get him on some kind of a decent deal, which I'm not sure that the Giants would have the space to be able to pull that off, I would consider a 1-year flyer. But I don't see the Giants necessarily doing that sort of thing. I would see them probably sticking with Daniel Jones, re-upping with him for better or for probably worse.
So as we're moving into your guys' favorite subject, the Jets and the Giants, I want to just take a moment to thank everybody who's watching us on Twitch who isn't from the New York metropolitan area. Appreciate you guys watching. Remember to go ahead and follow, comment away. We'd love to hear everybody talking and chatting, see what's on your minds. And if you can't follow us on Twitch, there's always Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All the links are on the Twitch page, but they're basically all the same. It's Stream Punk Sports, except for Twitter. We hold the S. Comment, rant with us, and follow. And we have these new panel buttons thanks to one of our newest team members. Even if he's not going to always show his face, we see him chatting away at Zircology. Thanks a lot for those wonderful panels, I believe you call them.
Yeah. And Zircology, I appreciate this also, man, because as a fellow suffering Giants fan, I'm alone right now because Brandon and JD are both Jets fans. Obi's a loyal, and understand, I accept it, loyal Eagles fan. So there's a rivalry there. I have nobody in my corner that can feel my pain right now. So as you're going to find, as the editor, I believe that you are, and bless your heart for it, I send you the video over a little bit later when it comes to the Monday night game between the Bucks and the Giants. There's going to be some stats there that probably are going to depress you because they depressed me when I researched them. Just want to let you know that.
I think I might pick the Giants for that game.
I won't. No. And how can anyone be a loyal? Exactly. How can anyone be a loyal? No, you know what? I respect Eagle Nation. I do. As a Giants fan, I respect the loyalty that you got to your Philly team. I do. Right now, it's 3rd and 4. Patriots are just inside the 50-yard line. And doesn't look like they're going to get that far. All right, Obi. It's now 4th down and about 3. You're at the 43-yard line or 48-yard line. Y'all going to go for it?
Yes.
Yes, throw a Hail Mary, of course.
I do. You know what? I do like the fact that they're going for 4th down more. In the old days they would just punt it away, and they may still here, but I like the energy of actually doing that with that.
Oh, I'm winning you over. Yes.
Yes. No.
They are punting.
I kind of conceded that last stream as well because he had a pretty good explanation that I couldn't really argue against.
Yeah. Psychology, basically, your defense is solid. That's true. The Giant defense is good, but there's too much time of possession in favor of the opposing offense. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of stats that I mentioned that are going to come out on Monday, the Monday video. Tom Brady has not lost 3 games in a row since his rookie year. And when he loses a game, he is 51-15. So he is not losing at home. The Giants may have had the bye. They may have actually had a little extra rest there. But you are dealing with a pissed off Bucs team that should not have lost last week. And they are going to just hate pound the Giants.
I forgot about that. No, I'm not picking the Giants. I forgot about that.
They're just gonna hate pound my Giants. So by the way, if you are an Eagles fan and you want to see a Giants fan suffer, tune in Monday night because you're gonna see me have a meltdown just like you did a few weeks ago when you were watching Kansas City. It's gonna be fun all around.
For me, when the Jets played the Colts.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
So yeah, but in this case they did punt it away, so I'm sorry.
First off, why are we starting Joe Flacco? Can someone tell me?
To me,
I can't find a logical reason.
unless you don't think either of the two guys are healthy enough to play and will be at risk of injury, there is zero reason why you should be starting Joe Flacco. You need to see if either of the dudes can possibly be an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And I think in this case, that's probably the only option they would have, because it's not like the team needs the game. I'm sorry. You're playing for next year. So what purpose would you have of not getting reps to your potential future starting quarterbacks unless they're physically not ready to do it?
There is nothing there's no amount of interceptions. There's nothing he could have done, Mike White, outside of an injury and not physically being able to go on the field for him to not start over Flacco.
Yeah.
What the hell can Joe Flacco do physically that Mike White cannot?
Hey, Joe Flacco did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's a lot of years back, man. Flacco's what, 38 or so, 39?
I don't know.
Let's see. How old
he's got to be up there. He's got to be.
He's 36.
6.
Yeah, he's Jersey too. South Jersey though, so he's more Obi's neck of the woods.
Absolutely, he's from around here.
Yeah,
went to Delaware.
Wilson's status on his knee remains day to day, so that's probably why they're actually going in that direction. I don't know. At this point, listen, this sucks to ask this question, Brandon, but are you okay with throwing the season for a draft pick?
Do I have a choice?
Well, what would your choice
really,
be?
I don't.
I know it's a bad question. I hate that question, but
where's my pick?
Yeah, what would that pick be? I drove by Flacco on the Atlantic City Expressway once. Ah, nice. Yeah. Well, as long as you
what was he doing?
You probably did. He looks like he would drive like a Chevy Suburban.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the bling type there too much. If it was baseball, he'd probably be more the type that actually would have like Led Zeppelin as his walk-up music. Hello. Or maybe Skinner.
I could see that.
Yeah. Is that not what the Jets are doing? Sadly, not on purpose, but I'm sorry, Herm Edwards.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't have a choice but to feel that way.
Yeah.
They are literally top to bottom, from field to top offices. They are not showing me anything to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
The only thing, though, I will say is it doesn't matter what happens this season. Saleh is coming back.
Who's that? Oh, Saleh, you said? Okay.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I think so. Yeah, 1 year I think isn't enough to be able to judge him on that. Speaking of judge, does he stick around? I think they're going to re-up him. I think Joe Judge stays put for a little while longer. Gettleman too.
He just makes the whole team run laps. Gettleman, run laps.
Like I said, they are going to get crushed on Monday. I'm sorry, they just are. I'm thinking like 45.
They wrong place, wrong time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I really forgot about the streak before I said, yeah, there's no chance. They had no chance.
They lost to Washington by 10 points, and that was their second loss in a row. Tom Brady is only playing for basically, from a selfish standpoint, for his legacy, and he will not allow a third loss in a row to happen to the one team that he played in the playoffs and never beat. That man has played 20 different teams in the playoffs in his career. And there's only one team that he has not beaten, basically, when he faced him in the playoffs at some point. And he lost to them in both Super Bowls. So you can tell.
And the Eagles. You can hang your hat on the Eagles in the playoffs, but
no, he did.
Yeah, he did in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. They did get there that other time.
The first Super Bowl. Not there but the first Eagles Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah. So yes, the Giants are not going to upset Tampa Bay, but if it had, I don't think. But if this was one of the other teams that we're talking about as playoff contenders, that streak would mean nothing to me, because the reality is at some point that streak is going to get broken. At some point he's going to have a third bad game. Like I understand he's playing for his legacy, But the way to keep your legacy actually secure at this point is to retire, because he is going to get beaten at some point along the way or retire. One of those two things is going to happen. So he's never lost 3 in a row since his rookie season. Will happen again. I remember when Brett Favre was the king of the world, and he didn't lose in Green Bay. And then he didn't lose in Green Bay when it was under 30. And then, he lost in Green Bay under any circumstances, and it was time to move on to Aaron Rodgers. So
and for Brett Favre, who did he throw the final pass of his career with Green Bay to? A Giant.
The final pass of his career was to the wrong team.
Yeah, but in this case, bringing back to the Giants again, Zirkology is right there. The Giants do play, TB12 pretty close, and that is true. But again, I just don't see it. It would bring the Giants to 3-7, which I think. So, like I said, if you guys want to sit there and watch me suffer, that's always a good thing. Basically, I think you like to see a host suffer whenever possible. Tune in Monday night. Yeah. But right now, no score on this one at the moment. About 5 or 6 minutes in.
Yeah,
my suffering is great.
Your usual kind of feel out in the beginning.
Yeah. But yeah, Monday.
I really wanted to pick my score to be 28-3, just for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided that I was better than that joke.
28. Oh, yeah. I see what you did there.
But I guess I'm not. Now that I'm revealing it, I guess I'm not better than that joke.
Well, in this case, basically 28-3, and then a massive comeback. Oh, by the way,
if anything, I'd say 28-13 maybe.
Well, I said 28-18. I think was my score. You said
you said 8. Yeah.
27-21.
27-21.
So okay. And then Obi, I don't think you gave a score, did you? You never do, though.
I actually did. No, I didn't. I just said that. Fan Jack, I don't know what the spread was. Somebody said 9. I think I like 9.
He never wants to punt, but he won't give a score.
Because they don't play the way I would play, which would be go for it, because a turnover is a punt. Punt to turnover. By the way, for the record, the New England punt on the decision bot, bad idea. The punt by Atlanta, good idea. Obviously, it was a bad idea. Even Scott was like, "You go for it."
Yeah, what you should.
First off, I got what is this decision bot? We keep hearing about this. I'm kind of thinking it's bullshit. You just look off into the distance, and you're like, "God, decision bot."
Ben, it's at. I mean, we can advertise for him all you want. At Ben Bot Baldwin on Twitter. He's the 4th down decision bot. I have a bunch of. I have another punting metric I follow as well, but that's the surrender index. That's less interesting. That's for when somebody's down 31 to 10 in the 4th quarter and they're still punting. Like, it's like there's no way. Yes, you're already never going to win this game and you're still punting. But to me, at that point is when you should punt, because you're right. Get your quarterback home safely and let him play next week.
Yeah. Mac Jones is starting to pick it up again. Nice little pickup right there, about 11 yards. His numbers have been so far today. I don't think they've been that bad. Oop, my phone fell. Don't mind that. My phone hit concrete the other day. Now I got a giant streak along the right side of my screen.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Freaking gravity, man. Monsters pick up, and now they're in field goal range. Brandon gave me crap baskets. All right, Brandon, just going to make you happy. Devils are losing to Florida 4-1 on the road.
We're not going to see middle fingers again, are we? That was very, very shattering to my heart.
Before the show. he was so excited. Brandon's been a Ranger fan since dirt was new. And he was so fired up. He's like, I can't wait to rub it in Scott's face on Monday. And then Scott had the audacity to not be here on Monday. But I'm sorry about that, man. But yeah, if it makes you feel any better, the Devs are getting their asses kicked right now.
I believe we're off tonight.
You might be. Well, the Devils actually were off Tuesday too. Because
no, we're not. We are losing 2-0 in Toronto.
Okay.
Into the third quarter.
Devils were supposed to play on Tuesday night, but 3 or 4 players on Ottawa got COVID.
The COVID. Then they couldn't even get into. Could they not get into the States? The whole team.
I don't know. It was on COVID protocol, and there wasn't enough. I don't know the specifics about the ruling on that.
Gotcha.
But it's not as complicated as the NFL was last year, when you'd have like a Monday, you'd have like a Wednesday at like 5:30 p.m. game, and all the weird ass crap that you literally had a game every day of the week.
I actually really enjoyed that.
So did I. I think it was such a cool idea. It's like, all right, we'll have some Wednesday afternoon football, some Friday afternoon, and it's not logical to be able to do that regularly, but at least for that one season, it was pretty cool. Third down and 1. Jones and company are driving at this point. Jones, by the way,
yeah, they're moving the ball with ease.
Yeah. And Jones going forward and picks it up on his own. So good, kudos to him. And the drive keeps going. But yeah, he's doing exactly what they drafted him for. I'm glad to see him starting to come around a little bit. And it's very difficult to live in the shadow of a guy like Tom Brady.
I don't know. I weirdly like Mac Jones.
I do too. Yeah. It's also a better name than Daniel Jones. A little more badass.
First off, can we? I don't know why nobody hasn't mentioned this. Does Robert Kraft not see the unlimited advertising that's right before his eyes? He's got a quarterback by the name of Mac Jones, and he produces macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? He should be on every commercial.
He can't.
Why not?
He can't.
Is it illegal?
Robert Kraft owns both of them.
But if he tries to have him endorse his products, that's extra money he's giving him, and there will be problems.
But it would be a different entity. It would be probably through a different corporation, and even if you did it as a non-union contract and pay him $1,000 for the day.
Dude, I'm trying to think of any
the legalities of it.
Trying to think of. I'm just trying to think of an owner who's owned something that's had a product endorsed by the player in football. I'm not sure I can think of who owns what anyway.
The only thing I could think of, this isn't close enough, but George Steinbrenner did a commercial with Derek Jeter for Visa once, and had the owner and the star player together. But I don't think he owned any part of that.
And here's the thing: Robert Kraft is in no way related to James L. Kraft, who is the owner of Kraft Foods.
Okay.
So he could do Kraft Foods. The people at Kraft Foods can do it, but Robert Kraft won't make a cent.
Either way. So he doesn't make the macaroni and cheese?
No, he owns an asset and paper and packaging company.
All right.
No way.
He's like, I refuse to.
No, there's no. You're telling me that I've been under the impression. No, I'm looking this up. He has to be making this mac and cheese somehow.
And I didn't even, like I said, and Kraft is owned by Philip Morris.
Ew. Really?
Oh yeah. Oh, Philip Morris owns a lot of food products. A lot of food products.
Basically a Worcester packaging company run by his father-in-law. He was investor in New England television, Boston Lobsters.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. Yeah, I honestly feel really lied to.
Shots fired on that one. Third down and 8.
That's
5
really
left over the center.
I'm pissed off.
What's that?
That's bullshit.
Hmm.
I really feel like my life has been a lie.
Hmm.
This is mind blowing to me.
Why? I'm sorry.
That he doesn't own the macaroni. I thought that was like his shtick.
You were today years old when you found out that was wrong. By the way, question in this case here. I'm sorry. No, actually, we'll talk about this too. Daniel Johnson.
Oh, onion.
Yeah.
Yes, Mac and Fields.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mac moans.
It's a stretch with Macintosh too.
I'm going with the big
No,
ones.
Daniel Jones. I don't know. He sounds like the third guy in like the Lewis and Clark clan that nobody talks about. Like he just sounds like some old American.
Lewis, Clark, and Jones.
Lewis Clark and Jones. He's on the back carrying all the shit.
Exactly. Wait for me, guys. Come on. Do I think the recap of 28 three Super Bowl? Absolutely yes. Undoubtedly, unquestionably, absolutely yes. That was like
Atlanta
I said,
hasn't been the same since that game.
No, they have not.
You go into halftime feeling like that and just watch it. You just watch it and you can't stop it. By the way, a lot of commercials for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I got to admit, I'm interested.
I'm very interested.
Nervous as hell, but interested. I worry that it's not going to be. It's difficult for a movie like that to live up to the legacy.
From what I've heard,
it is Ivan Reitman's son who directed it, so he would try to.
From what I've heard, it's the right way to either, reboot something after a while. I mean, there was the movie a couple years ago with Melissa McCarthy and them, or just like some rebooted sequel or something.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've heard, I think it lives up to it.
I've heard it's darker and a little bit scarier, which is okay. You can work with that, but
there are ways to balance that out, though.
And do we not need to have a full conversation about remake, reboot, and sequel? Like, isn't that a whole conversation we need to fully understand before we even talk about this movie?
We talk about that on Tales from the Film Set, also available on Twitch.
Well, your boy Kevin did a great bit on that in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, in this case, I would see it better for a sequel. So,
okay,
I would see it more as a sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel.
But,
and the one with Melissa McCarthy, that was a remake.
Yeah, that one with her, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and
see, is that more of a reboot?
No, that was a remake.
You think it was a remake?
I think that was a remake.
Nah, I would say remake. So, but it was okay. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but it had too much going against it, namely a legacy.
I think it was swimming up water more than, like, if you watch that movie knowing nothing.
Issue also.
It's a better movie in its own world than everything that got put on it and trying to keep it down, and successfully did keep it down.
Yeah. And in this case, like I said, it wasn't a bad film, but for me, it was a little too slapsticky, which is something. It's just my personal thing. The other one was a lot more just subtle word humor. Listen, do you smell something? All the little quick one-liners that Marx Brothers sort of conversation. That's what I've always preferred. But I didn't think the remake was that, or the reboot was that bad. I really didn't. I just thought it was just it lived up to. It was trying to live up to too big of a legacy.
Agreed.
Yeah, so my take on that. We are, by the way, almost. We're 10 minutes into the first quarter already, so we're flying a little bit. But every time I say that, these games end at midnight.
Well, that's because these games end at midnight.
Well, yeah. Matt Ryan makes his first and 10. He's back. And
I like the throwback retro Falcons. What we got going on here?
I miss the old silver Falcons jersey. I do.
Silver Falcons jerseys.
Yeah. When you guys gonna reboot Stream Punk Sport? Maybe you come back with a brand new version of it.
Yeah, we've already established such a presence.
Exactly.
That we demand a reboot already.
So I'm gonna ask you. Maybe you'll answer. Maybe you won't. Capped Wrath fan. Is that a attempt to confuse us with capitalization? And is Trap Fan somehow related to Trap Hagen? And do we know you from when we were kids?
Yeah, I was going to say. By the way, this is the jersey I was kind of talking about. The old, like I said, in this case, silver, but it was the silver pants in this case. And
the pants.
the
Okay.
I missed that,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right, Ryan's back. And first down. Nice on 3rd and 7 to pick that up like that.
That was big. Get yourself out of this hole.
What WTF is Trap Hagen? That was the elementary school that I went to, and possibly Obi.
Yeah, I'm as lost as Raph here.
Yeah, Captain Raph. Feel my wrath. So, first and 25-yard line. Matt Ryan in the shotgun for 3, 18 yards. Not that bad so far. We've had this conversation many a time. Is he a Hall of Famer?
No. Had he won the Super Bowl, you wouldn't be asking this question.
No, but I think in this case, I don't believe he can be.
And that is why he is so close to being a Hall of Famer, which is why I think, going back to our earlier conversation, he's desperate to find a team that thinks it's a quarterback away. Get me an opportunity. And I know I was just saying teams before, and I was just throwing names out there, but I really like the name I came up with, Houston.
You want to throw him into Houston?
Yeah.
Well, it's a warm weather market, so he'd still be working with that. But would he want to go to a team that's kind of in dysfunction right now?
No.
Incomplete.
So, like, who's going to be looking for a quarterback? Maybe he goes cold weather and it's like, all right, I'll take over where Aaron Rodgers walked away.
I could see it. I could see it possibly that he would go there. If he could handle the cold weather.
He played in Boston.
He were to go to Detroit.
Again, though, Detroit's in dysfunction. I mean, I would have, if Detroit was a better team, I would say yes, but that is a lost team right now.
Yeah,
San Francisco, maybe?
They just drafted Lance, though. They don't even know what he can do.
I know, but
I will say this about they just drafted Lance. We are seeing that teams they're not waiting. Like, it wasn't, and Rosen got boomed by later, and if Lance is not showing anything, he can't get
backing up Matt Ryan, by the way.
Yeah. He threw a touchdown last week, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, teams are much more impatient than they used to be.
They really are. The time that, I mean, like I said, they're starting these guys.
Okay,
right now.
here, wait. What about Denver?
Plausible. They're not that far out. I mean, they're playing in the West, so they'll be a little bit tougher.
He's better than Steady Teddy. They got some nice weapons in Judy and Patrick, and whichever running back, if both they keep. They have the tight end and I mean, they have an offense for sure.
What about
and if they're going to have a lower draft pick, they're going to have a defensive rusher.
If Russell Wilson doesn't stay in Seattle, how about there?
But then where is he going?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can get to that in a sec. But I mean, if Russell
now this
Wilson,
whole carousel starts.
I mean,
yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, I think I have this. If he doesn't stay there, why would Aaron Rodgers not run there to play with DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
That's the thing. He thinks it's a bad situation, but I look from the outside. That is not a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think, I think Aaron Rodgers might take that job. I don't know if that job will be open if he leaves.
All right. Well, actually, in this case, since we mentioned Russell Wilson.
What if Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers
swap team?
Yeah.
Listen, weirder things have happened. I mean, it was odd enough when Stafford and Goff.
Hell, what if they just straight up traded 1-for-1? See how it goes.
But there's been other years where two quarterbacks have free agent swapped. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, but to the level of Aaron Rodgers and
not to that level.
No. Hell, that'd be like if fucking Peyton and Tom Brady swapped teams for whatever reason. That's
if you go to baseball. There was talk of swapping Joe DiMaggio for Ted Williams. That trade was agreed to in principle. And then they woke up the next morning like, no, we're not going to do that. But that was
Which
a trade
one?
that was agreed. What's that?
Who woke up and decided not to do the trade?
They
Both
also
GMs decided it was a
sold
bad idea.
guys for milk jugs and boxes and cartons of cigarettes.
But yeah, there was the
What,
two
is this jail?
The two GMs met at a bar, were talking, and actually had a trade in principle. And the next morning, both woke up and decided this is not the way we should do this. And both of them were like, we're bowing out.
You know what that's called today? Tampering.
Mm.
Which I still, honestly, I can't wrap my head around, like, the issue with, like, what, bro, like, what's the problem? Like, if they're straight up not doing anything illegal, what is the issue?
Oh wait, what part would you call that being tampering? Two GMs got up, talked, decided they wanted to make a trade, then they sobered up and said they didn't want to make a trade.
I don't know. I feel like this tampering thing, they're really looking too much into it. Like why? Like say with the Miami Heat getting Kyle Lowry and stuff like that. Why would there be tampering? Like what could they do that would be even considered like what? Like I'm not.
Are you talking that trade for DiMaggio for Williams?
No, just any type of like the NBA now. Their big thing's tampering between these teams, like trying to talk to another player or something like that. These teams and like communicating with each other.
But most of the times, the teams who sue don't win the tampering case.
And also, additionally, they toe the line on this stuff a lot of times. It probably happens anyway, even when you don't get caught.
Yeah, because there's probably more real tampering that happens that doesn't get called out than fake tampering that gets called out.
That's my my whole point to it. I think it's such a ridiculous aspect of business to worry about. Like that's part of it. I mean, I'm not really sure. Like if they're not straight up doing anything illegal, what's the issue?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe it hurts the integrity of the game, kind of a thing.
Oh, please.
No, it hurts. The teams don't want to lose their players. That's what it comes down to. And since in basketball, you're limited to what you can use to entice a player because there's salary caps, not just salary caps, but positional, maxes and whatnot, and exceptions. If you're like, hey, I love you, come here earlier than you're supposed to say it, that's tampering because someone feels like you're cheating on them. Like, oh, you're hitting on my girlfriend. You can't hit on my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. Don't hit on her. Don't flirt with her. That's tampering. That's what it really comes down to.
Like the big example I can think of was when Magic Johnson was on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, and he was talking about like the LeBron thing or whatever. And then the NBA came out the following days where it's like, oh, they like fined Magic or something like that. It was like, how for what? What did he really say on Jimmy Kimmel that was so ridiculous that it even bothered people? Like, you really think LeBron was sitting there? It's like, you know what? That's it. I'm sold. You got me now. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm all worked up. I don't have a single team to be happy about right now.
Well, you said the Rangers. Well, Rangers weren't that bad so far.
I gotta say, I'm wearing this sweatshirt. Well, I guess not subliminally anymore. For Noah Syndergaard, who's leaving for Monopoly money.
Yeah, listen.
And it doesn't even give the Mets a chance to match.
I want to go back to Barrett Bigham's that you brought up there. I mean, that's the point, right? Yes, it is about the legitimacy and the crisis around the super teams. And so, yes, when Magic Johnson says, hey, come here, it's that little extra bit of love, that public love that maybe was going to push him over the edge to leave Cleveland. But back to Noah Syndergaard.
But I think just public, like desire is getting to a point now where it's like everything is public. How are you going to control that? Like how are you really going to stop two guys in the league that are friends on different teams. How are you going to stop them from saying some type of social media post or something like that? Like,
you find them, but it's not players; it's owners. I mean, Magic Johnson is not a player. He was part of the ownership group that ran the Lakers at the time. Mm-hmm. So that's different, and that's the point. And it does. I mean, to Barrett's point, well, the players are doing this on their own, and that's something that they can address in the CBA somehow, some way. Maybe increase the max that you can pay your own player to the point where it's ridiculous and the player would never want to leave. But otherwise, I don't know how you're going to prevent super teams, but certainly you can prevent ownership and general managers from beginning to make moves on a player who's on another team already. Another thing it does is if I know that team B is very interested in me and then I'm in a contract year, maybe I'm not going to play as hard because I know I'm going to be able to go to this other team and get my money. And now my team doesn't win. So we don't get a situation like you had in Toronto where Kawhi's there for 1 year, but Kawhi knows that the Clippers are going to pay him next year. So maybe he's like, my leg again. Let me rest the leg. I don't want to go all out. That's all. So Noah's leaving the Mets for real ass money.
Yeah,
it's monopoly money.
Here's what surprised me: the Yankees threw $10 million at Corey Kluber. Not a bad deal. You take a flyer, $10 million for a guy who won the Cy Young twice.
For 1 year, there's nothing. There's no risk in that.
Yeah, but $20 million.
20 is all.
Here's what 21 million. I think 2 innings in the last 2 years.
Two in the last 2. Yeah, he came for an inning earlier this year.
That's a lot of dough to throw to a guy like that.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see a lot more deals like that, Scott. You're big on all these big deals that are going to bite you in the ass at the end. I mean,
but if you are Steve Cohen and you're the richest owner in baseball and you made a whole big deal on when I obtain ownership, I'm going to empty my pockets. We're going to spend so if you're going to pay him, then pay him. Like, what's it? If that's what the market is dictating for an upper echelon, then that's what it is. Like, I understand it's the qualifying offer, but now it comes back to, well, Syndergaard didn't give the Mets the chance,
which is also very
counter.
Maybe he just really wanted out.
Yeah, and so how does that fall on Steve Cohen? Like, if the Mets didn't get the chance to counter offer, then
because you got to blame somebody.
Yeah, but. Look, if I'm Syndergaard, I'm concerned about a lot of the crap that's going on around the Mets, and I want someplace where, hey,
you can have different crap.
I can get different crap. But the other thing is, you go there. Now you're there, and now you're pitching well in Anaheim. If you're the Anaheim ace, you're not really the ace because even if you're better than Ohtani's still getting all the press. And then you're also getting all the press for the Millville Missile. So you're like the third most important player on the team.
You think Syndergaard is going to be the ace after Ohtani just unanimously wins? No.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying even if you are the ace, Ohtani gets all the pressure. He's the third best player on that team, but he's now doing a situation where now if he's not the ace, he's the guy who makes the team legitimate and they can come through and they can do it and they can begin to look like, oh, we're going to be a contender. And that's what they're selling him on. Come here, be the reason we're a contender now. Give us that second pitcher. We got 2 great hitters. Now we got 2 great pitchers. Scott, are you silent again?
What's that? No.
Oh.
I mean, yes, I'm silent.
Oh, touchdown.
I just think for
actually, what I was looking up, I was actually looking up the salary next year for the Angels. Because they had a bunch of money already thrown into Trout, and I wanted to see what the money breakdown was right now. They got $37 million going to Trout, $36.5 going to Rendon, $28 to Upton, and now $21 to Syndergaard. Those are your top 4. After that, Ohtani is 5th at $5.5 million. They have top-heavy themselves so much, and this was the problem that the Angels had last year. We talked about this, that they dropped so much bank on Trout and Rendon that they had no money anywhere else. You have literally half of your salary is spent on two players, and that doesn't count Upton or Syndergaard. That's a concern, and that's part of the reason why the team struggles so much. Same problem I think is going to end up happening with the Dodgers down the road, but especially right now also with the Phillies. That Bryce Harper money.
I think for if I'm Syndergaard to go to a team that even makes the Mets look fairly competent for less than $3 million after this whole, I guess, fake thing where it's like, I want to be in New York. I don't see myself suiting up in any other team's jersey. It's and then not to let the team counter. It's ridiculous.
I mean, listen, if you're Noah Syndergaard and they're offering you $21 million, I don't blame him for taking it because there's a lot of ifs with him. There's a lot of upside, but there's been a lot of ifs here. And if someone's offering you $21 million to go to LA, warmer weather, cool, laid back environment, I can't fault him entirely for taking the money.
Either do I. No,
it's not even that.
I just blame I just think the contract is stupid as hell from a GM.
I'm not. It's not even the money specifically, him receiving it. It's the fact that what you ended up taking as opposed to what you were offered, not even giving the chance to meet that mark. Mm-hmm. For measly, was it $2.6 million? After this, your whole thing about wanting to be here, you wanted to be a Met for the rest of your career, whatever, blah blah blah. I understand you have issues with the GM and there's some things going on, but it's like,
no, it's wait. I would go the exact opposite way. You've literally just convinced me that he made the right move. You told me he has all these issues with all the other stuff.
Going to the Angels,
but wait, he's not happy. And for a mere $2 million more, he can go somewhere else. And if he's not happy, he's going to move on. And no amount of money is going to make him happy. So go be happy. Number one. Number two, the Mets may even have said this is all we're giving you because you're just coming off of Tommy John surgery. As Scott said, you're going to have these big contracts at the end. And if he doesn't work out now, forget when the contract comes to an end. We'll be talking about Noah Syndergaard Day on July 4th because Bobby Bonilla Day will be over and it'll be a different buyout. Yeah. So, I mean, look, if he continues to be great, it will suck. It will hurt. It will be a kick in the freaking nuts. I get it, and it will suck. But as Scott said, these teams were –
you know what, though? Like –
and there's one other factor that is in here that you're not considering.
You know what?
And we don't know what
Wheeler all over again.
We don't know what the CBA is going to be. And it is tough if you're a team not knowing what the CBA is, and it's tough if you're a player. If you're a player, you take every cent that's offered because you don't know if there's going to be hard caps. That you don't know what's happening. If you're a team, you don't offer a lot because you don't know if there's going to be a hard cap. You don't know what's
baseball,
coming.
You are guaranteed every fraction of every penny that you're offered. You get.
As of today, so you signed that contract today under the current CBA that's expiring.
When is it up? After?
So this year there's a work stoppage coming up.
It's this.
Yep.
This winter meetings.
Yeah, there's a work stoppage coming up. So if you're a player, I'm taking it because I think that Scott puts it out there, right? Look, Scott's love of baseball also shows all of the weakness of baseball. Nobody's watching. The contracts are getting really big, really top heavy. When the guys are too old to play, they stop the steroids so they can't play when they're that age. And you get them cheap for their first 6 years because they're just arbitration. So I can't imagine the CBA is not going to see a major change because owners have to protect themselves from themselves and protect the long-term investment in the game because it's slowly going down. And players, of course, are going to want to get their money today because they're playing right now. And I think it's going to be this union and this ownership hate each other historically. It's going to be ugly. I wouldn't be surprised if we missed another World Series.
Wouldn't surprise me in the least. But again, I've mentioned this before. With baseball dropping down and soccer moving its way up, I've predicted this in 5 to 10 years, soccer will overtake baseball and popularity in the United States. You have the playoffs airing on ABC. This, by the way, I did the research on this. I had to write an article on NYCFC today. The NYCFC Atlanta match that's coming up on Sunday is not only being broadcast on ABC, but it's being broadcast on 77 different countries around the world.
Okay. And here's another thing about soccer.
That's U.S. soccer.
No, I get you. And here's the other thing about soccer. There's so many outlets to make good professional money. Not maybe it's right, because you can play in America. By the way, you can play in Europe. You can play in South America, and all of them have a competitive.
It's all a ratio to the price of living.
Well,
yeah, right, but you can
players don't make a lot.
When you say they don't make a lot, MLS players make what?
About $90,000 a year.
Okay.
I mean, good, but not like soccer, not like pro.
Not even minimum football.
What's the highest MLS contract per year?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But the average running mill is about $90,000. I would say the highest with NYCFC is Tati's at $71 million. But
okay, a year?
No, overall, like a 5 or 6 year deal.
About Jesus.
Yeah.
How over what period of time though? 6, 7,
6 years.
6.
So $10 million a year for the Stars, which is
right
not.
now, there's 81 players making 7 figures or more.
Okay.
Who like Pulisic?
And wait, and so now that your point, Scott, this sport's going to get more popular in America, which means their salaries are going to go up. And remember, if they're really good and you don't pay them, they're going to go to Europe.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Highest right now is I was going to say, Vela is making $6.3 million.
And what's
That's the
lowest
highest annual per year
in American soccer?
$6.3 million a year right
in
now.
Yeah.
So, which is obviously you can more than survive on that. But like I said, 90,000 is kind of like where the median is, where baseball has like $500,000. So or like below end, but it's manageable.
That's like minor. It's like AA, AAA minor league ball.
It's minor league soccer is the way, from a global stage that soccer is. It's the AAA version of global soccer. So these guys here, they fight tooth and nail to move to Europe or South America, like you mentioned. And the big thing here, and I've talked to like the head coach Ronnie Tyler about this, and he's like, with Tati Castellanos, their main scorer. He won the Golden Boot for most goals in MLS this season. He's getting phone calls from Spain and Europe, and a lot of places in Europe and England, and they're like, they're gonna have Ronnie's like, they're gonna have a hell of a hard time pulling him away from us. We are gonna fight like hell to keep. We're gonna fight like hell to keep him, just like they're gonna fight like hell to take him. But we're not gonna let him go. This guy was responsible for 19 goals this season. Second highest was 9. And he had the most goals in the MLS combined with assists. So but like I said, 77 countries around the world are watching that game. I have no idea what the press box is going to look like on Sunday.
Truthfully, I don't pay attention to soccer one iota, and even I notice a jump in just the overall attention to it.
Oh yeah. This game's going to be interesting because I'm used to going to games where they get decent attendance, 10, 15,000. Playoffs, the Giants aren't playing, the Jets are playing technically. But it's going to be wild to see what ends up happening here because this is going to be the kind of thing when they had the Pumas match against Mexico. That crowd was insane. It was awesome. But anyway, so right now basically there's still a football game going on.
Matt Ryan is steadily driving this Atlanta Falcon team down the field, by the way. 20
now. So first down again.
Yeah, they've had some nice running plays to break up for 12, 15 yards.
Short by a yard. But yeah, 3rd down and 1. They're at the 13-yard line at the moment. Ryan's back. Ryan's down. Oh, that's a rough sack. Whoa.
I'm way behind you guys.
Yeah, that's
behind.
That was
Don't admit that. Don't admit that. Just keep going. Like Scott's time is everybody's time.
Yeah. So in this case, but
Scott's time is everybody's time.
Exactly. Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like a 12 or 13-yard loss right there. And that puts a very doable field goal into something.
That is horrible. That's a rookie mistake right there, Matty Ice.
I'm considerably behind you.
Yeah, he's
okay.
I don't even know how I'm going to try and catch. Hold on.
JD had a way of doing it. I forget what it was, but It doesn't matter. The kick is good anyway, but yeah, that made it a hell of a lot better. But if you have that, if you have who's that? Koo, I think is the kicker for Falcons. If you have him on your fantasy league, you get an extra point for the longer field goal now.
If you have him on your fantasy league and you're still using kickers in your fantasy league, then you get some extra.
Yeah. Well, in our league we have that, but kickers are replaceable. Oh wait, there's a flag on the play. False start on the offense. Oh, Christmas cards. Basically takes that off the field. Oh, I'm sorry, illegal formation. So now we're pushing at a literal 50-yard field goal. Back 17 yards on this. God, if they actually missed this too. Patriots would get the ball at the 40-yard line. And lining up, taking another shot at it. We're actually almost into halftime too. 6 minutes left.
Wow, flying by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Yeah. And thank you guys as always for tuning in. I appreciate that too.
As always, pleasure to be on.
Yeah. So, the kick is up, and that one is wide left. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Laces out? Yeah, laces out. Yeah, he just scooped it a little bit to the, yeah, you can see his foot. He just scooped it a little bit to the right. And yeah, Koo knew it too.
Oof. And there goes your fantasy points for those of you who have kickers.
Well, also, I mean, there goes your momentum. Because I mean, okay, you made the 45-yard field goal. At least you got something out of this. And then illegal formation, and now you missed. Now you came up goose eggs, and you've given Mac Jones the ball at the 40-yard line.
And my 9 points still stands.
Yeah, and my 10 easily stands.
My 6
also stands. So.
also stands.
Yeah, but I'm the only one who took like a point spread. You guys,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, we did an actual score on this, but
yeah.
But in this case, I think I took the spread. In this case, Brandon did not, though.
What was the spread? What was it?
7, I think. So,
Fan Jackson yelled 7 at us.
Yeah, Cap Raps, I think said 7.
Oh, Cap Raps.
Oh, I'm sorry, scratch that. Fan Jackson said it. Yeah, Devils are still
7. Atlanta.
What's that?
Atlanta by 7?
No, Atlanta getting 7.
Atlanta by 7. What?
That's.
Can you share some of that?
That's a lot.
I was yeah. What the Braves over the Red Sox?
That's a lot.
Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are in a
it.
commercial
That's
right
a
now
lot,
with JB Smoove. You know, I got to say, I really like the fact that Peyton and Eli are doing so much stuff together.
I love them.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
They really are. You know, and it's neat to see that kind of – and here's a commercial with Cooper Manning. So, who actually looks a little bit like Peyton, but –
Yeah, they all – no, he looks more like Eli.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. He did an Uber Eats commercial. Respect. Yeah.
Yeah, I am the Manny you don't know. But he looks enough like them that you know he's a Manny. And he's going to be the –
You got 2 in a row.
And you're going to be seeing pictures of him for a while when, look, there he is. The father of whatever his son's name is, who's going to be –
It's Arch, isn't it?
Yes, named after his grandfather. You're right.
Yeah. Not Archie, just Arch.
Yep, but still named after his grandfather. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to dad joke the hell out of this, even though I'm not a father. But, if he does really well, he'd be a golden Arch. I'll show by the way,
please, the door's open. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
I'll show myself out.
Thank God. All right, now we have a real show.
There we go. Cut this amateur hour.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the chicken. I hate stand up. I've done stand up a few times, and I never want to do it again.
I weirdly have the itch to want to might possibly jump in it.
You know what? Do it, man. Listen, to me, I always struggle with the fact that I've had a shitty day. Make me laugh.
So now, how does one do that? We've been talking about that, me and a friend of mine. How does one do stand up? Do you just find a place that has an open mic, or how do you get yourself into a position to do stand up comedy?
Open mic is usually the start of it. So basically, you just get the resume going.
Go-to.
And then once you do enough open mics like that, then you start contacting like New York Comedy Club, and which I've done New York Comedy Club. And they usually, you're not going to do it on a Saturday night, but like a Wednesday night when nobody's there. That's how
you'll get like Tuesday. Level. Maybe you'll get like, I have a buddy who's doing like the amateur circuit.
Yeah.
But he's been, and he'll get Saturday gigs, but most of them will be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays.
Yeah. Let's dial back to the open mic. How many minutes are they expecting you to have on that open mic?
You do 10.
5 to 10.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but then
no, it's a lot.
Think about just standing.
That's
standing
a lot.
Up still.
That's
for
a lot.
5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
No, I did a roast once of. So I roasted an entire class of 32 people I was graduating with, plus like 5% professors. That took maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was with a little bit of story in between. It was a little more than just Joe's an idiot, Mike's an idiot. It was like and then this part, and like maybe 3 minutes. So, so 30-something jokes is only 3 minutes. I can't imagine a full 5 minutes it was. When
I did my first stand-up bit, it was actually at open mic in a place in Bloomfield. And I brought 2 people as moral support, as you kind of do in this case, because at least somebody laughs at you. And my moral support drank a literal gallon of Blue Moon. He got drunk and he heckled me on stage. And it ended with him actually being called up on stage by the MC and mooning the audience.
Do I know this person? Please tell me I do.
Probably might. Don't. You might. I'm going to throw the name down at the bottom. Wrong year, but I don't know if you know.
Of course I do.
Yes. Don't tell him I said that. But yeah.
Honestly, that name just sounds like he would do such a thing.
Yeah. Listen, I've known that kid since I was 9 when we used to get thrown out of Sunday school together. Me, him, and the other person that Obi and I have mentioned.
So if you're watching, you know who you are.
Yes, but I won't mention the name. I did that on another show once, and I really never forgave myself on that when I name dropped him, and he's like, he actually saw it, and I felt so bad. I really did. And I never wanted to do that again. But,
you never know how people are going to take it.
Yeah, well, I think he felt bad about doing it, but I felt bad about like throwing him under the bus there. So I never wanted to do that again. But in this case, I don't always know. Obi graduated a year ahead of me, and this kid was a year behind me. So I don't know how well he knew people like that.
Yes, he would have been. Was my brother a year behind you, 2 years behind you?
Your brother was 2 years behind. He was class of 95.
Right.
So he was 2 years behind. This guy was 94, and then eventually he moved out to like West Jersey.
Okay. We should stop throwing those years around.
Yeah, I know. Well, dude, I'm sorry. I hate to say that. Well, no, I don't really hate to say this. But your 30-year reunions next year, man.
Yeah.
Mine's the year after that.
A year from now, I should be heading up to North Jersey. Like it might be on this day. It will be a Friday, right before Thanksgiving.
I don't know if we're gonna do anything. We never did anything for a 25-year anniversary.
No, we did a 20-year anniversary. I missed the 10-year. 20-year got canceled because of Sandy. So we did not have it when it was supposed to be. So we had it like a 21-year anniversary. I don't remember what month it was, but it was not the traditional November period of time.
Well, ours was basically all our events were usually run by someone who passed away at the age of 44 in the parking lot at Waldock High School.
Yes.
That's the one. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh,
who does organize all of our events? So.
Oh, okay.
So we never had any since. But anyway, let's get the hell off of that morbid topic. I'm going to say Falcons have the ball back, 4 minutes left. Chance to redeem themselves after that last drive. Good stop. However, it's second down very quickly and under 4 minutes to play with 2 timeouts remaining.
A 4-minute offense. You would expect an experienced quarterback to maintain that. But who knows? The reason they have 0 and not 3 is because of him taking a horrible sack. That was a really bad sack to take.
I blame the illegal formation because Koo did still hit that field goal, the 45-yarder. Made it harder for him, but he still did get it.
But on the other hand, if you had you could blame them both, because if you had either one, he makes the kick.
All right, sold. But right now, Matt Ryan's 9 for 13 for 61 yards. So he's struggling a little bit. Jones, on the other hand, is 9 for 10 for 88.
Mac and cheese.
No, I think they're both teams are able to run the ball.
That was ugly.
It's
not
the
as many
passing game
so far.
that's really.
I mean, when you throw it for 0 yards.
Yeah.
And you lay your receiver out to get hit like that.
And puts you in a 3rd and 9 too with the clock.
Maybe he retires at the end of this year.
Down he goes again.
Or maybe he pulls it. Was it Vontae Davis retires at halftime?
Well, in this case, he might, because he just got sacked again, and now they got a punt from inside their own end zone.
What if he retires? What if he retires?
Matt Ryan? Right.
No, that's what I just said. Like it just.
If anything, they'll mutually, probably be a situation where they mutually agree to part ways.
Because as I'm watching this game, what my eyes are seeing, and I am the worst quarterback evaluator there ever has been. I leave that to be known. He looks older than many of the quarterbacks who are still older than him, who are still playing. He's
looked that way for a little while.
Yeah, and I've seen some people arguing that statistics are really good this year, and yet the eye test, Now, he looked like he got hurt on the first sack on his foot, so maybe that's why he's looked bad since then, on this drive as well. But, boy, he's not helping his team win this particular game right now.
He, honestly, with the exception of the one run to, the Super Bowl, he's been very up and down anyway. I've never been fully sold on him.
It ended with the Super Bowl, but there was 3 or 4 really good years. He made me a lot of money when I used to do DFS because he was always cheap and he would always put up points. And then came his MVP year, and people noticed, and he stopped being the guy I was going to. I think the year he won MVP was the first year that the running back over in LA started doing well. And that's when I would use him for a lot of the money. But I digress. I've stopped doing DFS. But yes, Matt Ryan never recovered from that Super Bowl loss. Nothing in Atlanta has been right since that Super Bowl loss. Dan Quinn has finally recovered by getting out of Atlanta and taking the demotion to defensive coordinator. And I think every Cowboy fan has to be watching like this.
Sure.
When's he going to Dan Quinn this up?
I have another team that came to mind.
Okay.
What if he were to stay in the division and go to New Orleans?
I'd say no, but then again, Brett Favre went to Minnesota.
I would say this. Doesn't Winston have a 2-year deal? Like, are you going to take him over Winston? Winston did not look bad. I mean, he looked average, but
Matt Ryan's not the interception machine that Winston is.
But what was Winston doing interception to touchdown this year? I don't think it was Winston-esque.
It's not. It's definitely better. But if you're Sean Payton, are you sold on him being your guy?
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not. But am I sold on him being my guy over this guy? Probably.
Or even Taysom Hill.
Here's the thing. Taysom Hill, I'm looking at Jameis Winston. He's at 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's not bad.
That's good.
That's more than not bad. I mean, granted, 2 years ago, his last year in Tampa, he threw 30 picks. But, if he had another couple of years like that, again, we're talking about next year, so it's hard to say. But if he had another year or two like that, he could really solidify himself as Drew Brees' successor.
Right, and as Zirkology is calling out here, he just looks Matty Ice looks so stiff. I would take Winston. I think that I would take. There's plenty of. There's two quarterbacks we talked about who might be free agents: Wilson and Rodgers, and I would keep Winston and suck up and lose that salary for one of those two for sure. But I don't think I'd do it for Matty Ice.
So we're saying now, past this season, there isn't a market for Matt Ryan?
I'm saying there isn't a market in New Orleans for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, but but now that we're thinking about it, so let's say they are even sold on Jameis next year. Who needs a quarterback, first off? And out of those teams, and who's available, is Matt Ryan going to be the top guy or the top choice?
Well, Matt Ryan's going to be, if Matt Ryan opts out of this contract, and what we hear is going to happen, like first they're going to make sure you can't get Rodgers or Wilson. Right? They're 1 and 2.
Agreed.
I don't know who else we're talking about being free agents. I think Matt Ryan is going to be the number 3 guy if he opts out. And there may be, and I think he'll find a spot. Like we talked about Denver. I'd put him in Denver over what they have going on there. I'd still put him over Steady Teddy, who I like. But I think I like Ryan more than Steady Teddy. That's just the first team that comes to mind. If you don't get Rodgers or Wilson, I'd take him over Big Ben. Big Ben looks older and stiffer and slower.
I would take Matt Ryan over Big Ben.
Yeah. And
what about like maybe Chicago?
Nah, yeah. I still think Fields has earned his way into holding his job for another year, even 2. Because I think if I'm Chicago, at this point in time, I'm probably more sold and confident in Fields over Matt Nagy as a coach.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at the free agent breakdown right now.
That's really how I look at that in Chicago. So I don't know if they'll bail on Justin Fields from Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and then I would say Ryan Fitzpatrick's a free agent in Washington at the end of the year too.
And he's pretty much lost his job to Heineke.
Yeah. But I'm just like I said,
so
maybe Pittsburgh. We do this whole huge twist around.
Yeah. I mean, and just keep in mind, this was supposed to be like 16 quarterbacks are going to change this year. Like, if you recall the offseason, they were trying to win the quarterback was going to be the biggest quarterback carousel ever. So,
yeah. And the rookie rule in this case also applies to Daniel Jones because he's in year number 3. And so far, not so good.
Baker may be a free agent, so you may be talking about which one of these guys going to Cleveland.
Baker is not a free agent yet. I don't see him on this year's list.
Oh,
maybe next year.
Okay, the way they've been talking,
I think he'd be more desirable than Matt Ryan on an open market.
Baker may have no guaranteed money then next year. Maybe that because the way they're talking, the way all the sports heads are talking, it sounded like they could, they were going to be done with Baker this year if they didn't sign him long term. So
I mean, they could cut him, and that's different.
So that might be what.
Yeah, he's officially a free agent next year.
Okay. And this is his rookie contract he's still on.
Yes,
so if they cut him,
he was first pick in the 2018 draft. Behind him was actually Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
who was getting $7 million next year. Yeah, they'll re-sign him and probably turn him into a punter or something. Because Giants got a giant.
What if Baker Mayfield signed with the Giants?
Why not? I'll say okay.
Listen,
here's the weird thing. The Giants need a little bit of spark, and they don't have that right now. Weirdly enough, I would say Baker Mayfield would give them a weird spark, especially if he continues to do progressive commercials.
And then him and Barkley, they can both do Hulu commercials together.
They did last year.
They can go back to doing it.
Barkley, I mean, like I said, he's owed $7 million next year. You know, the man's played 20 games.
He's in a DoorDash commercial.
Well, you know, we get that money somewhere. Great pass, out of bounds, easy. New England's got one timeout left, under 59, under 1 minute to play, and that was a great route. But if they end up picking, I forgot who kicked off. I think New England, I thought, kicked off in this one, right?
I was thinking, I don't even remember. No,
yeah.
Yes, yeah. New England received the ball first.
Okay. Yeah, but Mac Jones is just efficient as all hell right now.
Yeah.
You know, short bullet passes, picking up, 8, 9, 10 yards, and getting out of bounds on every single one of them. That one took 6 yards in 4 seconds, and they still have a timeout left.
You know, and they still stick to that whole death by 1,000 cuts thing where it's all these little slants, all these dinks, all these 10-yard passes. They're not taking huge shots down the field, but they're not. But they're nice chunk plays.
This is such a. I mean, look, so well coached, like just so well coached. Yeah, they're not taking the dinks and dunks. They're getting 8-yard outs. They're taking 8-yard outs. No one's forcing the ball down. 5-10 yards at a time. 4 seconds.
Well, Jones got sacked. That's a huge sack too.
We'll see.
That burns a lot of time off that clock.
That's a good blitz against a rookie quarterback. He did not see it coming. He did not. Hall did not line up like he was going to blitz. He lined up like he was in coverage. I was unidentified blitz all the way around. That was a great blitz. Yeah, and right now it's 13 seconds left, 12 seconds left. Oh, okay. They're just going to run the clock. They're going to, I guess, just run the clock down and just.
Hey, Raph, how awesome would Barkley and Mayfield be living in the stadium together? Roomies.
I don't know. I mean, would you see Barkley doing progressive commercials?
Yes.
Living at home.
Yes.
I would because I think that Barkley knows that the legs are not there. Like somebody better tell him to make commercials and make some money because I don't know that he's got a career left in the NFL. The legs keep breaking on him. Yeah, I mean he's played 20 games and missed 21 out of the last 41 games since 2019. Yeah, he wasn't
hurt in college either.
Yeah, but he had a ton of carries in college.
But I mean, the Giants took some heat because Sam Darnold went next, and there was some question of do they take Sam Darnold instead of Saquon? And Saquon had a good year. His first year, he did 1,300 yards. And that kick is good, but good by about a layer of paint. All right, New England's up by 13 at the half, so they've done exactly what they needed to do so far. And Nick Folk, remember that name? Yes.
So why can't
Jets
who's still as consistent as any kicker is in the league? Yeah.
In some ways, it could be argued, by the way, that in that draft, the best pick was number 4 and 5 and 6.
4 and 5? I should know this, but
so 4 is Ward, 5 is Brad Denzel Ward, who's a great D-back. Then you got Bradley Chubb, who's a great defensive lineman. Okay. And then at number 6 is probably truly the best player, Quentin Nelson, who has just been a phenomenal offensive guard out in
from the New York Jets, by the way. You want to point that out? But here's the thing: number 7 was Josh Allen.
Yeah,
y'all forgetting Lamar was in that draft.
Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick. Remember that? Yeah. There you go. Well, here's the funny thing: last pick in the first round, Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson.
That's what I said. Yeah.
And I think that Quentin Nelson. Of course, maybe it's my offensive lineman blood coming through.
Best non-quarterback draft in that first round.
Yeah.
And
they keep winning in they keep look, they're doing well with really questionable quarterback situation over there, mostly because of their offensive line. They've had everybody who can run back there. Mack ran behind them. Taylor ran behind them. Hines runs behind that offensive line. You made it to the playoff last year with Phillip Rivers, who was probably at the end of life in NFL life. You're doing, you still got a chance in the playoffs here with Carson Wentz. So, I think, yes, we all love our quarterbacks. And yes, the best quarterback in that class was probably Lamar Jackson, and then Josh Allen, who was the one I had the least faith in. But still, look, Josh Rosen got picked before Lamar Jackson. So,
yeah, there's a lot to be said about Josh Allen, though. I think there's a lot of upside there, and he's still young. And you know what? Give him credit. Buffalo was hanging in there. I figured Buffalo was going to run the division for a little while longer, but given what's happened with Mac Jones and Belichick rebuilding that team the way he has, I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I really do.
With the Patriots, it doesn't even feel as much as a rebuild as much as like what we were talking like
reload.
It was just kind of like a resurgent. It's not like this whole thing where he had to, tear the castle down and rebuild it.
Yeah. In this case, Mac Jones was the perfect spot. The perfect pick, and you're seeing it now because right now I think without looking, I think he's 12 for 13 for pass. I'm sorry, 14 for 15, 136 yards in one TD. By God, that's more than Brady numbers right there. Granted, it's one game, but it gives Patriots fans hope again. Because last year was a very tough season for them.
Yeah, but now we're getting where it's more half the season.
Yeah. But,
now,
He's
surprised me a lot, Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the halftime show.
Yeah.
With butt
so no Greg Olsen. No Greg Olsen in his stupid ass plaid tie. Suit.
Okay, so I had seen this story today, and I never knew this. I don't know if you guys know this, because they have Terry Bradshaw here. So he is at college at Louisiana Tech University, right? He comes in as a freshman, doesn't get the starting job right away because they have another guy at quarterback by the name of Phil Robertson, who you guys might know as the king of Duck Dynasty. So
never watched it, but I know the show.
So I'm reading the story, and Terry Bradshaw is saying he never really had the extreme love for football, so he ended up leaving college, I guess, after that year. So I guess his second year, Terry he takes the starting job now, and Phil he's like, Terry, you go for the Bucks, I'll go for the Ducks. And then the rest is history. And I thought that was one of the craziest stories. And I'm surprised I never heard that before.
I never knew that either. But I know Terry Bradshaw, I think, had the worst QB rating of any starting quarterback as a rookie, I think, or most interceptions or something. Quack.
Not more than Peyton. I think it's Peyton and Terry.
I think it was. I think it was. I remember him coming up.
Maybe it wasn't until Peyton.
Right.
By rookie QB.
I think Peyton.
Yeah, okay. What?
18 or 19.
Yeah, okay. There was something where Terry Bradshaw led the record. Maybe it was lowest QB rating.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, Terry Bradshaw played in a time when the best QB was not always associated with the team that won the Super Bowl. We still look, Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls. Is there any other how many quarterbacks we did the list, right? And how many quarterbacks who won none are above Terry Bradshaw just because we just don't. He played in a time when the running game was still king, and that's why Franco Harris was the important player on the team. And the defense was the important thing on the team because it was a different time in the game where Bradshaw gets probably underrated.
Yeah, I found it, by the way. Worst QB rating in the Super Bowl era.
Okay. For a rookie.
For a rookie. 30.4. In that list also Ryan Leaf, Steve DeBerg, and of course New York Giants Joe Pisarcik. Hey, Randy Johnson's on the list too.
Randy, so he decided to play baseball instead and stretch people out.
Yeah. Except for those 2 years where he played for the Yankees, which this Yankee team seems the same way as that Yankee team was. It's like, here, just sign these people and let them blend.
Here, you just put on the jersey and get out there.
Yeah. Picking up Randy Johnson in 2005. The first year was great. Second year was trash. I don't think he wanted to be in New York anyway.
Well, at that point, he was probably just playing for the money.
Yeah. Well, he won the World Series with Arizona by that point.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, at that point, he was like, all right.
Doesn't he technically have a World Series ring with the Giants?
Was it that year? Or was the year
on that first even year team?
No, I thought he retired in 2009.
No,
I thought Randy Johnson. I thought he retired in 2009.
I thought 10 maybe.
Yeah, he was on the Giants. That was his last season. World Series champ. No, he was 2009. I think they were 2010.
10. It was 10, 12, 14.
Yeah, which was really odd when you think about it.
It was the even year magic.
Yeah, it's nice. And then nothing since.
Yeah. And it was a shame because they were damn good this year.
They were. Well, I think manager won coach of the year too. Not surprising.
You know who I thought was they showed Mike Schilt for the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. I was like, that would be like with Dwayne Casey won coach of the year for the Raptors after they had fired him. That must be so weird.
What's that?
If I'm the coach, I win coach of the year right after I get fired for that position in which I just won an award for.
Well, I mean,
I just think it's funny.
Was Joe Girardi still manager of the Marlins when he got it, or was he fired by that point?
What year was that?
2007, I think. Yeah, because he won manager of the year, I believe. And then he was fired. He was fired by the Marlins because he did not get along with management ever.
That's usually why it happens.
NL manager of the year 2006. And then 2006 he was with the Marlins, manager of the year, fired, didn't actually manage in 2007, and then got the Yankee job in 2008.
Didn't that happen to Scott Brooks at Oklahoma City in basketball?
Might have. That would be more your department than my own.
That would.
I'm asking you, Zerk.
Scott, he won coach of the year because then he went to Washington. I'm sitting here contemplating as if I can't use the power of the internet to answer every single question I have under the sun.
Well, you don't want to make it too easy for yourself.
I know. I keep myself.
I'm looking at this list of who won. I didn't realize Mike Budenholzer won in Atlanta before winning in Milwaukee the coach of the year.
They won 60 games and got spanked by LeBron.
Well, everybody got spanked by LeBron.
Well, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, even Don Cheadle eventually.
Yeah, 2010.
I haven't seen the new Space Jam movie, and I haven't decided if I'm going to or not. But.
So Bryce Harper won the MVP?
Yeah, I believe he did 1 year.
No, I mean this year.
For what?
Well, he did put up statistically good numbers. But again, that was a struggle of the team. He won the Silver Slugger and Hank Aaron Award this year.
I don't feel like they I don't know. Baseball, Oh, they might have. I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah. Like I said, that's an albatross of a contract you're just waiting on right there.
Which
Yeah. Bryce Harper won the MVP.
You're no, I see him for Silver Slugger this year. But I don't see. But he won the MVP in 2015.
Bryce Harper wins his second National League MVP.
Did they just announce that?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I think they literally just announced it during the game.
Okay.
56 minutes ago. Yes.
We don't have the audio on, so feel free to.
I saw him sitting there and it said Bryce. Oh, you know why? I got the Philadelphia feed. That's why. I had the Philadelphia feed.
That would be local.
That was the local news in the game. Bryce Harper won the MVP.
Yeah, Bryce.
Yeah, I read something actually. Shohei Ohtani wins the MVP in MLB. Say what you want about that, but apparently, if he won the MVP, Vegas bookmakers were going to lose a fortune on that because the odds were like 30-1 that he was going to get it, and people put money down. I read a story that somebody put down $30,000, and Ohtani won it.
On who?
At the beginning of the season, that Ohtani would be MVP.
Oh.
So, yeah, I read something earlier today that a lot of the Vegas bookmakers were praying to God he didn't win. Whoops. Well, kudos to that. But again, that contract is a bear of a deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is one of those deals. Okay, so I'm reading the article. This is one of those deals where one guy is going to win a lot of money, right? But they're not talking about all the other guys who bet the money to make that affordable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a 13-year, $330 million deal. All right, let me find that deal on Spot Track. By the way, Spot Track is a great website if you want to look at contracts. But we are on the way in the second half now. Kudos on that. Yay.
Yeah, so they lost. That's their single biggest loss on an awards market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, right now, Bryce Harper, his body's going to break down at some point. In a weird way, though, looking at the salaries, it's like 27, 23 million a year. That's not that bad. It's weird for me to say this, but that's not that bad, considering what a lot of the contracts are now. My opinion only.
So is Ryan out because he's limping? They're showing him limping and holding his.
He came up gimpy before. Yes.
Yeah. No, he's still...
Sharp's in. No, Ryan's still in.
Yeah, he's still in.
But they're Falcons offense last two games points 3. So this is like I said, this is a team that's in trouble. This is a game that they've got to pretty much win.
Yeah, I think if they lose, everybody else around them is feeling happier. I think the Eagles are feeling ecstatic.
Yeah. But in this case, they're half a game out of a playoff spot. So if I think Carolina has the last spot right now, so had they won, they would have pulled into a tie with 7 games remaining.
Yeah.
But they're going backwards. 2nd and 15. Penalties, 6 penalties, 42 yards at this point. So Falcons are killing themselves. All right, and there it is. Oh, cool. Just to let you know that basically it says that Thursday night at 8 p.m. this game's going to start. Thanks NFL.com.
Yes, well, this is very exciting news.
Dude, come on. NFL.com. You know what? Maybe I got to start looking at a different website because you think that the main website for the National Football League would be better with how they actually update the stream. They don't. It's so bizarre. You know what they end up doing with it.
I don't know why they're that way, but
I don't either. How bizarre! How bizarre! Yeah. But all right, they're still going 1st down and 10. But
that's not a flag on that, huh? We're just allowed to put our hands over somebody's eyes and twist their head. Okay. Oh, I guess there was a flag because they had first down.
Yeah. And yep, jump early. God, the penalties that this team is taking today. All right, let's see if I can reload this page and see if somehow we can get the NFL.com website to actually be updated. In the meantime, 1st and 15, they've already had 2 penalties in the start of the second half. Running the ball and getting about a yard out of that, maybe if they're lucky.
They are definitely but the thing, right, so the good news for them is they're still in this game. The bad news is, as I said earlier, that's like the MO of Bill Belichick. Oh, you're still in the game. You're still in the game. We're gonna win it, but you're still in it.
Enough hope, just enough belief there, yeah.
Yeah, just to that, exactly. Oh, I don't recognize this woman's name, Christina Pink. She's probably been doing the games all season, and I haven't noticed them.
I've seen her name pop up before, yeah. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
Hey now. Yeah. Hey now, please still listen, even though Scott's singing. Hey.
Hey now, Scott, shut up. You can't sing. Yeah.
Oh.
I've never been. I'm one of those people who actually doesn't sing well in the shower either. But 3rd down and 15. Last week against Dallas, 1 for 11. Tonight, 2 for 7. So that makes them dropping 3 for 18, 16 and change percent over the middle, but probably going to be short, and it is. So prevent defense works, and guess what? Patriots get the ball back.
How are you Patriots getting the ball back? How many yards are they getting? If they're on the other side of the 35, they should go for it. Their defense is holding up and their offense isn't. So
I think it's too early in this case.
It's never too early to try to win a football game.
You're like, I thought I was getting through to you. Clearly, I was wrong.
I'll have to.
I have possession to split that straight down the middle, though. Interestingly enough. But the punt is up. Good kick. Taking it to 10, to the 20. Who's that? Amendola runs into his own man and gets to about almost the 30. Nice return. And whoops. Matt Ryan said some words that probably would get bleeped out if they were actually aired. He's a frustrated guy. I would wonder if he would stay in Atlanta, or if he requested a trade.
I thought, yeah.
He goes down in history in Atlanta lore. You got to give him credit there.
Yeah, he goes down with Chandelier.
1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
Chris Chandelier, don't call me Christine. Christine Chandelier Everett, don't call me Christine, or I'll punch you in the face, Jim Rome.
What's that?
Chris Chandler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then wasn't the other quarterback they had Chris Everett, and Chris Everett said, and Jim Rome kept calling Christine Everett, and he was like,
yeah, Jim Everett kept calling Christine. Yeah, Chris Everett eventually attacked him. That's right.
Yes.
By the way, Jim Rome, I think, is the highest paid sports host in the U.S. right now. He makes about $30 million a year.
Over Bayless. I thought Bayless just signed a record contract.
I don't know if he did. I read something the other day on this. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bayless just passed Rome because ESPN was big to bring him back.
Yeah, Bayless makes he's a 4-year deal for 32.
Okay.
Let me check Romy's contract. Fantastic, love it. So, yeah, because I read something on highest paid sports commentators, and he was the highest one. It says here basically it's a staggering $90 million deal. So he makes Rome makes $30 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, Joe Buck makes, by comparison, only about $5 million through Fox.
But Joe Buck's job is much better than Jim Rome's job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're doing our imitation of Jim Rome's job. It's, we're watching the game on TV still, and we're still in the studio, but it's every day. Joe Buck isn't in front of it. He's got time off. He gets to travel. I don't know. I think I would take Buck's job over Rome's job.
I think Buck has it easier, also because of the fact twofold. One, because he's got Troy Aikman working alongside him. That makes it a lot easier from the offset. And also, there's a full team of people that are throwing information at him. So he has that screen at all times where he can just work off of what's been given to him. And that makes it so much easier.
And he's hit it. So, if you're reading something and nobody's looking at you, you don't look wooden. You know what I mean? Like, you can read it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to not sound wooden than it is to not look wooden.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of NYCFC, coming back to that for a sec, the guy Roberto Abramowitz does the Spanish radio coverage for it, and I watch him and his co-host Ariel right down from where I sit, and I hear them the entire game. And to their credit, they don't really work off of tablets that much. They just look at the players on the field and know who has it. And I'm like, damn, that's impressive for a high-moving, high-speed game like that. They know who's got it. They don't really rely on stuff like this. I can't speak for the S Network with Tollison and Joy, but them, it's like,
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was really impressed. I've watched them do like a half a dozen games. They'll do the one on Sunday. I saw them last week. There was a ribbon cutting ceremony over in the Bronx.
Right. Yes, you were very excited about that.
It wasn't bad. It was nice to get to hang. It's weird seeing the players and the coaches in like a chill environment where they don't have to actually be like on stage. They can just relax a little bit and just be themselves. So. Yeah. Mayor's wife was there too. But all right, 2nd down and 15 right now at the 22-yard line. 12 minutes remaining in the third. Mac back. Mac pass. Complete.
Return of the Mac.
Mac and cheese complete. Just add boiling water.
I don't know. Just unlimited endorsement ideas come out of me.
Sure. It's Mac tonight. Oh, I just dated myself on that one. Sixers up as okay. So the 76ers are up good on that.
All right. That's what we need. Is Joel playing? He's back in the lineup.
Between Apple, McDonald's,
especially
Kraft,
McDonald's. Yeah.
I mean, he's got these avenues of income just untapped.
Well, isn't there like a financial firm like Byron Jones or something like that? You could throw in that direction a little bit
also, too. Wasn't that the cornerback too? On the Dolphins, Byron Jones.
There's been lots of Byron Joneses.
Yeah, no, but there was an actual company like financial.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I was talking about. A basketball guy. Good on you. Yeah. Joel's not back. Okay.
Well, that hurts. But hey, if they win without Joel.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm sorry to disappoint you. They punted on 4th and 6th. Great kick though. Nice kick. Decent, solid return.
What did your bot say there?
My bot is still only showing. The last punt they're showing is the Atlanta one that I freaked out at. So it was a toss up because it only gave them a 0.71. Going for it only improved their winning chances by 0.7. So usually you get excited when it's 2 or 3. The issue, of course, is that they only had a 4% chance of winning anyway. So when you only have a 4% chance of winning, you probably should, do everything you can to increase that chance, even if it's 0.7%.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about that line from Empire Strikes Back. Never tell me the odds.
Yeah, okay.
Never tell me the odds.
Of course, they're talking about navigating the asteroid field, which is essentially pretty easy to do. So
apparently, statistically, it's very easy to do.
Very easy to do.
Good job, C3PO. But Matt Ryan, by the way, 71.
They made it look much harder than it really is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we send satellites through the asteroid fields. That's how you get Voyager and things landing on Mars and going through Jupiter and examining the big spot. Don't want to get all super sciencey nerd on you there, but yes, it's pretty easy.
I don't know. I was watching a YouTube video the other day about like the most dangerous planets in the universe. I find astronomy fun. There's a planet that's 6,800 degrees Celsius.
How are we in the whole conspiracy aspect of space and
like?
Oh, I have a tinfoil hat. I can go get
the Earth is a ball. I'll start with that. I don't know how
the Earth is the center of the universe.
Not even that. Just like the whole what's out there, who's out there.
Oh, do I believe that there's aliens here that we don't know about?
Or just some existence, whether it be billions of light years away or under our feet or just something.
So do I believe there's life in the universe that we haven't encountered? Because you're saying conspiracy theories. There's two different things.
Just aliens in general, just anything.
I believe that there's life out there that we have not encountered.
I just from the logic of, does it make sense that this is the only planet out here where we have, a life and humans and some type of just statistically, it just makes no sense that this is the only.
I'll respond to that with two things. One, we are still constantly discovering new things on this planet that we never knew existed.
I know.
So how can we say for certainty what the rest of the universe has by comparison? Number two, you look at humanity. Would you really want this to be the top of the universal food chain?
No.
Thank you. Your Honor, the defense rests.
But just thinking about it, we're the only planet where we have the things on this planet that we do. That just makes no sense to me. There's got to there's got to be some space rock with some type of civilization, whether it's identically human or whatever.
Yeah,
just the idea that we're the only planet with this, just that doesn't sit with me.
So now I will give you a little conspiracy theory that I have about UFOs.
Hit me.
All right. So the reality is there are hundreds of thousands of amateur astronomers who are looking into space all the time. So I don't believe that if we've seen UFOs that are not like some sort of craft that is being controlled by another government, because that's like they do have
it's a weather balloon,
right? Like a weather balloon. If those things exist, I do not believe they're coming from space. You know where we're not looking all the time? Over that massive ocean. It's more likely that things are coming from underground and that there's an Atlantis that's sending up UFOs to see what the hell the mainland people are doing, than there are aliens sending UFOs and not being identified.
Dude, there's lizard people, Madame Vastra, okay?
Oh, hey, she's hot.
That one I'm like a little like, eh.
Why not? But again, I mean, like I said, we're discovering new things on this planet. Yeah. They were like, holy shit, I didn't know that was there. So why not?
No, I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm saying when somebody says, oh, I saw a UFO and it's from space, my argument, it's more likely to be from the ocean.
Okay. And also if you want to take it a step further,
that's
you have the multiverse part of it
plausible. Too. We don't know.
I mean, there's scientists have settled on between 10 or 11 dimensions, so
10 or 11.
I personally struggle with 11 dimensions. 10 I can get my head around.
I thought it was 11. I thought string theory said there was 12 dimensions.
10 is perfect, but 11, nah, that's crazy.
Well, no,
the prime number.
10 is the central point of all multiverses. So how do you go beyond that?
Well, because here's why 10 is a bizarre number. We as humans think in 10 because we've decided to think in 10 because we have 10 fingers. When we as humans know,
it's too structured.
But you know what? You know what's a much better base system, of course, is 12. If you could think about what your base system would be, it would be base 12, and there was base 12 math before base 10 took over.
Here's the thing. As someone who actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, and I've actually never mentioned this till now, studies quantum physics as a mild hobby. Yeah, it's the geek in me. Like I said, from that standpoint, I can understand I mean, dimensions 4, 5, and 6, fine. 7, 8, and 9, I can handle that. 10 is the design central point, one central point, where every multiverse and every dimension is working around it. So 4, 5, and 6 all exists within our laws of physics. Law of attraction, law of, energy cannot be, converted, cannot be destroyed or created. Can only be converted. 7, 8, and 9 works with different laws of universal physics. 10 is the central point. So if you have that central point, how do you go beyond that? And that's why I struggle with dimension 11. If you want to go ethereal, dimension 10 is heaven and where God is. So.
Okay. We've dropped down to 2 viewers.
How the fuck did we go to -6 viewers at this point? Oh my God, are they allowed to write that? By the way, there's a football game still going on.
Well, no, this conversation has been going on during commercials. I've been checking the game.
There we are. Actually, we are down to 2. Obi, are you on as me right now? Is that?
I don't think so.
Okay, because you're seeing the numbers. I didn't know you could.
No, I cannot. I can just see the number. I cannot see what that's behind the number.
Okay. So, but yeah, in this case here, they're talking about. There it is. I think Josh was talking about it before. Are they going to talk about the Super Bowl meltdown? And they're talking about it now. Super Bowl 51. And like you said, they've never been the same since Super Bowl 1. Super Bowl 51. Sorry, the Falcons 32-41, Patriots 49-25. So big difference there. And the Patriots are well in control. They get a touchdown on this one. They can start running the clock out a little bit. And that's the kind of running play you want right out of the gate. 12 yards.
I just think they've been in such of like this mental stronghold since Super Bowl 51.
Mm-hmm.
And they've never been able to shake it.
It's their legacy.
Well, I wonder how many of the players were there. I mean, I bet you'd be surprised how few were still there.
I'd be other than Matt Ryan, I can't.
You didn't think you were going to be learning some shit today, did you?
Other than Matt Ryan, I can't really think of anybody.
I'm trying to pull it up now.
I'd be surprised if it was more than like 7 or 8 players. I'll just say 10 just to be safe. So 9 others. 9 others besides Matt Ryan. And they're probably like...
Well, I'm going to guess
lower
6.
roster guys.
I'm going to guess. No, the lower roster guys get replaced all the time. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, no, but there all these teams have these guys that have just like kind of been floating for a handful of years.
I'm going to guess 6.
I'll say 8.
Yeah, see, I'm not finding an actual list in this case. I have the roster, but I can't tell from the roster who's still with them.
Okay, so what year was that Super Bowl team?
2016.
16.
So,
are you putting it into your robot or whatever?
Yes.
Meep moop. 7 players were remaining.
Hey Siri, how many players is it? Falcon.
Oh.
Yippee-ki-yay,
Mr. Falcon.
All right, Matt Ryan was on the team. I'll do a little.
That's what I'm saying. I can't think of anybody.
I have the 2016 roster.
Julio Jones, no. Sanu, no.
No.
Devonta Freeman, no. Definitely no.
Keanu Neal, no. Nobody.
Matt Schaub, no. Matt Schaub, no. Keanu Neal, you said that already. Yeah, Brian Poole, no.
Vic Beasley?
Matt Bryan's not.
No.
Yeah, see, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I could dig deep on each one of them if I had to.
Well, hold up. I'm going to get this. Do not worry.
I believe in you.
I'm gonna.
It can't be many at all.
You got this, man.
I got this. Do not worry.
By the way, for those that just came on, we're trying to figure out who from the Super Bowl 51 team for the Falcons are still with them right now, and we're not
outside of Matt Ryan. We know.
Yeah, outside of Matt Ryan. Yeah, we're struggling with this a little bit right now. I would have figured there'd been an article, just boom, just find it real easy. But sometimes when you have to actually search for things on the internet, it's annoying.
I'm surprised it's not even like a minor talking point, being that it's the two teams that played.
No, people love to do this. It's amazing, even when you look at if you were to go look at the last two teams to win the Super Bowl with New England, because remember there was the year in between where they didn't win, you'd be shocked how few players are the same. It's the NFL. 22 starters, and you'd probably lose 5 at least a year of starters. So, and then it gets deeper afterwards. So,
yeah, if you can find that, let me know. I'd be interested. But Mac Jones with another completed pass, and he's just owning it right now. 18 for 20, 173 yards, and 1 TD. That might be 156 QB rating, actually. That might be a perfect QB rating.
Yeah, no, I really think they are.
And picked. Never mind then. That's exactly what Atlanta needed right there. So basically, as soon as I finish saying that, Mac might have a perfect QB rating, what does he do? He throws a pick. That shit.
So that was 2016.
Did you find it yet?
No, now I figured out the fast way to figure it out, by the way.
All right.
So we start with years.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's somebody who has to have been in the NFL for at least 6 years.
Yeah, so you pull up the roster from that team and this year as well.
Yes.
Maybe just do a side-by-side apples to apples comparison.
That's what that's what I'm doing.
Brilliant.
But we have a second one. Definitely not a name. This is definitely on the lower end of people you would think of. I'll give you that.
I told you. Some of these guys just stay on the roster just because,
I mean, he was a starter, and he's still a starter. It's just a guy who you don't think of as a starter because he's not.
You just got that average workhorse guy.
Let me guess. Is he a defensive lineman?
Yep.
Yeah, that's who. I can't even think of who would be. I can't even think of a name. But I just positions. I can.
There we go. Change that. Fix that. Do that.
Some offensive lineman too, I'm sure.
Here's a second defensive lineman. That one was a rookie.
If I would guess like a linebacker or even an offensive lineman.
Could be. But that pick was as big as Atlanta needed right there. They've got to turn it into some points. If they don't, again, that's 2 straight drives. That's 2 drives that they would have had something and lost it.
Definitely not.
But nipping along well. 5 minutes to play. 20 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game.
I mean, going into the fourth quarter scoreless would be terrible.
Yeah. Like I said, this is their best opportunity. They finally got a little life going.
Even the low 2-score possession, I'm not even confident in.
But here's the thing. I mean, right now, and this is why the punt is okay in my mind. Matt Ryan has 71 yards passing, and they've got 31 yards rushing on 29 plays. So they've gotten no offense going. And that doesn't say anything about the 3 sacks that he took. Now that pickup was 4 or 5 maybe, but, Matt Ryan throwing for 75 yards almost at the end of the third quarter. So, yeah, he's at 69 yards. How are you supposed to be able to win a game when you got a quarterback that's pulling those kind of numbers?
by running the
they're
ball
they're in a hurry up offense,
by
which is
running the
fine.
ball for over 150 yards.
Yeah, but
And not
like I said,
turning it over.
they're at 31 yards rushing in 11 attempts. So you're forcing the pass game to be opened up here, and the pass game, like I said, is
They
not
have
throwing
to now. They have to pass.
That
They've
pass,
done
that
nothing.
was,
They've done nothing all game from a passing standpoint to even show that they're going to come back. That they're even going to make this a game.
yeah, I mean they're averaging 4.1 yards per pass right now, 82 yards, 13 for 20. So it's starting to move upward, but again, it's poor numbers there.
What are the targets and receptions on like Kyle Pitts and stuff like that?
1 second. Pitts is not showing up on here. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Wrong second.
I've seen him get the ball.
Yes, two catches, 13 yards, 3 targets for Pitts.
What about Ridley? Oh no, he's not even playing, is he?
No, he's not on there.
Yeah. So okay, so that's why, because it's Kyle Pitts or bust. And what does Belichick do best?
Yeah.
Take away your top option and beat me with the rest of your team.
Exactly. He forces you to use.
And if you do, all the power to you.
Yeah. And as a result, like I said, they're doing what they need to. 2nd and 5 now. They are in field goal range. And I would consider
Pitts is injured now.
I'm coming back in, guys, with my research.
Yes, please do.
First of all, only 25 guys on the 40-man roster were even playing when this Super Bowl took place.
So they have a young team.
I don't know if they have a young team. The average NFL player only plays like 3 years.
If you're saying that about half the team of the Falcons on the roster today haven't been playing that long, then they are average a young team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that because the average NFL player only plays 4 years. Only half of the team should be in the league over 4 years, and so they're a little low. They're at 3.7. I don't know what the average NFL career really is, but I know it's not 5 years.
No, it's about 3 to 4.
Yeah. So with that being said, there is Grady Jarrett, who is a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Who started in that Super Bowl. Deion Jones, who is a well-known defensive player.
I saw that name. Yeah.
And then, of course, Matt Ryan.
So 3.
Three left.
3 guys. So,
well, I mean, that's not uncommon in any sport, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about, I mean, when you even look at the Yankees and their big run, what was it? 4 guys. It was Mariano. Only 3 of them won all of them. Mariano, Jeter, and somebody else, I think, right?
Posada.
Well, Bernie was in that run too. Posada as well. You want to talk about Posada? It depends on which run you're referring to.
Right, because there was 2 runs. So the only guys who were in both of the little runs were. I thought there was 3 guys, but maybe it was only Jeter.
Yeah, because well, actually, I think Pettit won with them too.
Right,
but he had some time in Houston as well. So as it turns out, Pettit actually had more World Series appearances. He appeared in more World Series than Jeter, Mariano, or Posada because he did appear with the Astros.
Right.
When they got their ass swept.
Right. So yeah, and again, the point being though that the team broke up. I mean,
what year was that? 2007. That Astros.
No, he was with them in 2004. They were in the World Series in 2005 because they lost.
No,
that was
Chicago. No. Oh yeah, because they were in the National League. Right.
Yeah, and they were in the National League.
I was going to say Chicago.
Jose Contreras, I think, pitched for the White Sox that season too. The Yankee player that literally George Steinbrenner said, "You are all fired if you don't sign him."
Hey, look, they went for it on 4th and down 1, and they got it.
Yay! For adults to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
You know who I can't take seriously? Belichick's son.
Yes.
Oh God, he's such a stooge.
Well, you grow up as the son of a kid like that, of a dad like that. It's not easy.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the mullet. It's all the. on the sideline shit. He's annoying. I don't know.
Are you talking Steven or Brian? Probably Steve
It's-
Belichick.
I think Steven. He looks.
Yeah, he kind of looks like.
He looks
you know
like
what he
Steven.
looked like? I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull up a picture. Right now. He looks like that. That typical like early 2000s like douche jock in the movie.
Like what?
Who's dating the girl that the geek guy is in love with. So you got the one geek guy, and that's the kind of guy that basically she'd the girlfriend, the eventual girlfriend would be dating.
Yeah, like the guy played by Ogre, whose name is totally escaping me.
Stupid mullet. Just cut that shit off.
Hey, don't hate the mullet. I had a mullet once. Not recently.
Yeah, what year, Scott?
When it was popular in the 80s, Scott had a mullet.
93, 94.
Okay, okay. An acceptable time.
Yeah.
It was a little late for the mullet. At that 93, 94,
end of the prime.
Usually you were getting the front longer too. Usually, not completely. Who was it? There was a great mullet in your grade, and towards the end of
my grade.
Well,
Justin Maybe rocked out an awesome mullet. George Cassianis too, but he was, he and I got suspended in high school together.
Okay. Maybe it was George.
Yeah, he was wrong. George Cassianis, when he graduated high school, went into the military, joined the Marines, and spent the next 4 years in the Marines being stationed in Hawaii. If you're going to get stationed anywhere to spend 4 years and do military duty, like Kauai is like one of the best places you could ever ask for.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, as AC/DC once sang about, hell, that ain't a bad place to be.
Yeah.
So.
But, all right, 2nd and 5. Matt Ryan is
considering you have as much choice as where you're stationed as you do being born.
Yeah.
So you count your stars on that one.
Well, it was funny. My father grew up in New Jersey. Joined the Air Force, did his 8 weeks in San Antonio, and then got stationed in New Jersey for the next 4 years. So he drove home every weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not too terrible either. If I ain't going to the tropics,
that's actually where you've ended up actually meeting my mother too.
Oh, there you go.
Apparently, I'm all about the research. I will now be going through the yearbook of your class to see if I can remember who it was, and hopefully they had the mullet while I was in high school, not after it.
Joe Campanelli, maybe.
Joey did not have a mullet. Joey had
long hair though.
Yeah, he had long hair front and back.
By the way, Brandon, on a scale from 1 to 10, how disinterested are you in this conversation? 10 being
I'm a confident 2. I'm pretty interested.
Okay, all right. Because I figured basically we're name dropping people. You got no idea who these people are.
By the way, Joey Campanelli.
I just want to know. I'm curious. I'm here.
Who is the person that had a mullet?
Joey Campanelli was not in your grade. He started in mine, and he graduated after you. I mean,
Yeah, he got left back twice.
He's a great dude.
I think he had left back more than once.
He's a great man, but
he's a good dude. He actually is. He cut the hair though.
Yes, he finally did cut the hair.
I love his Facebook sarcasm. It's awesome. One of those ones that just like mocks all of humanity.
I'm not mentioning names, but there's some prime mullets in my graduating class in their senior picture. So
okay, see, there was a few years where I didn't actually bother to get the yearbooks. They're available like through the library.
The more I'm just looking at the screen setup in here, Obi, with your hat and I feel like my sweatshirt. I feel like I'm wearing a picture of you. Just so
Obi walking out.
You just look like the Monopoly man.
Every time I see Obi, the beard is more impressive there.
So yeah, here I am going through my yearbook, being Mr. Monopoly. Yeah, I know.
Looks just like you.
Yeah, if I only had the money.
I don't know why it took me all 2 hours and 15 minutes to put it together. It just slapped me right in the face, so I had to tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I could slap you in the face.
I've been needing a good slap.
Pulling up our actual high school yearbook.
Deserves some.
By the way, was that the year? Let me know if that was the one where they actually put me in the wrong section and had me like letter K.
I'll see.
Okay, so you guys are every grade's yearbook. Every yearbook has an error, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was alone in that.
No, there was one year where
they got it like every school.
Shit, we forgot his name. Let's just drop him over here somewhere.
No, you were definitely where you're supposed to be between Caserta and I can't say her last name.
Oh, Christina Situich. I had no idea what ever happened to her.
Yes.
She was nasty.
Now, I will say this guy's name, and I never thought of it as a mullet, but it looks a little mullet Lee. Matt Carner's got a bit of a mullet-ish thing.
He's like a programmer or something down like down south.
He's in a traveling band.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he just had a baby.
In a traveling band.
Yeah, he's in a blues band. I think he's playing bass again.
Very nice. So
he's a blues traveler.
Yeah, basically.
Ernie Maestro has.
I got to give a shout out. Here. My father-in-law's band won the International Blues Competition and is in New Jersey and is representing New Jersey again down in Memphis in January. So respect to that.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah. He passed away in January, but the band still won again. So they're going to be heading down. We don't know if we're going to be heading down or not. But yeah, respect to Shade Tree Mechanics for, like I said, being New Jersey's best blues band and representing the representing New Jersey in the International Blues Challenge in Memphis.
That's terrific.
Yeah, so respect to that since we're talking blues.
Oh, I would say that's a penalty.
By the way, Obi, just so you know, the guy who did the intro for your show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Was the lead singer for Shade Tree Mechanics. So, so you know Mike Rochelle anyway.
Yes.
So anyway, we got a flag on the play, on the punt. So Rick Miller, I barely remember that name. I hated my grade. That's why my high school yearbook literally said, "I gladly leave." That was my only caption. But that's absolutely, yeah. Call for a fair catch and got whacked.
Oh, you got yeah.
Pretty much, I remember that name. So so that's actually going to be good yardage because basically the only way that right now that Atlanta team is going to get any yardage whatsoever. Not making shit happen.
That's a good call, but I'm happy it's not a bad hit. I mean, it is. That is.
He tried to get away. He tried. Yeah. I was gonna say because I just saw it in real time. From the regular angle. I was gonna say Patriot teams aren't undisciplined like that.
Right.
So for him to do that was ridiculous. And then I saw the replay, and you could clearly see he's trying to get out of the way.
Yeah. Matt Ryan got sacked for a fourth time now. Not as bad as some of those other ones, but it's definitely setting them behind the 8 ball.
No. The one down by the when they were in field goal range, and this one now, you've got. But he's got. There might not be anyone open to throw the ball out of bounds. It's got it.
Get out of the pocket and just toss it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is 4 sacks now. They're on the verge of.
I don't think he's thrown the ball away once.
Picked it up nicely though. They did get the first down on the next pass, so he's showing signs of life. But you are still down by 2 touchdowns.
Well, if you get a touchdown here, you're right back in this game, which is crazy. But this has been as bad as a game as the one that was 3-3 at halftime a few weeks ago.
God, I remember that.
We went into quantum physics here. We went through the high school yearbook. There is a reason that we
discussed aliens, whether they exist on Earth. We have been doing this way too long.
Hola, Blas Nunez. How are you? Yeah. I wish I had better Spanish. But Scott wants.
¿Cómo está? Actually, hola could be como vai too. It's Portuguese.
We love all our.
I thought that was OLA. At least that's what it always is in my crossword puzzles.
Okay. But yeah, they're second and 11. They go 1 yard. They go 2 steps forward, 1 step back every single time.
Another thing with this Patriots team that I don't think has been mentioned enough. Yes, they've brought in a lot of new guys and stuff.
Mhm.
But they also those guys. They also brought guys that have been there before.
They brought 9 guys back from COVID.
So it's not like those are 9 less, free agents or signings that you have to integrate into your system because hell,
Sure.
they were in your system.
Oh yeah, no, I think.
So for them to have this surge, kind of mid-season to second half surge, it shouldn't even be surprising.
I think.
And there it is.
Oh.
Da-da-da-da-da. Oops.
Another interception or sack or is the touch?
Threw it only to a Patriots player. It was his attempt to throw it away, and yeah, it was just there was nobody there. So who's that? Juden that caught it, I think.
Judon, not Judon.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was McCourty.
No, it's
Not McCourty. Yeah.
McCourty.
Are you rah rah? Are you rah rah? Ooh rah, Rutgers rah. Upstream, red team, upstream, rah rah, Rutgers rah. Go Jersey. Sorry.
Rah rah ree, kick him in the knee. Rah rah ras, kick him in the other knee. How's that?
No, I tell you, I was very disappointed that we missed our show on Tuesday because I was gonna do a whole Rutgers beats NJIT thing with our boy Rob, not JD, Rob Stats.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, JD Seton Hall, I think.
Yes, who I think is still undefeated. I also, by the way, given the state of the game, I tried to put this on camera before to see if it worked. It's I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah. You have a single Oreo.
Not just any Oreo. This is a Mew Oreo from the when they just recently did the Pokemon Oreos. And for
I didn't need to get my hands on one of those packs.
For like 30 seconds, that was like a $400 Oreo, and then people were like, "Wait a second, it's just an Oreo." But I still saved mine. I don't know why.
I have like 2 packs of the NBA Dynasty Oreos unopened, ready to be sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah. So,
how about Crystal Pepsi?
You crystal meth? We don't do that around here.
No. Remember Crystal Pepsi?
I haven't done that since high school.
Yeah, you haven't done the Pepsi?
Right. That's when it was Crystal Pepsi, was when he was in high school.
They brought that back out a bunch of years, like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, I think.
I thought it was more recent. I feel like I saw it.
No, because
it could be something else.
Yeah, because I remember they relaunched it. And I remember deliberately like getting it at 5 o'clock in the morning and be like, tastes like soda. Just looks weird.
I really want that Italian Parmesan chicken sandwich from Burger King.
I've been seeing those commercials. I know.
Yeah, okay, so last night I come home
brief mid-releases throughout the 2010s.
I ordered food. A chicken parm over penne with vodka sauce.
Nice.
Okay, so I was going to come home today, ready to heat it up for dinner, and my brother ate it.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I had pizza for breakfast this morning.
It's a very underrated breakfast.
It's not healthy.
Worse than sugar diabetes crunch?
No. It's probably not. It's probably not worse than most of the stuff that you actually call breakfast cereal.
Oh God, yeah, that stuff is terrible for you. And that pass interference, and another penalty on the Falcons.
So I had I had Zerk over yesterday as we were working on some of the ideas that we were going to go through, and we had pizza and French fries, and that's what I had for breakfast was the leftover pizza and French fries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
No. The thing is, my wife tried to give them to Zerk to bring home, so
Well, tomorrow I'll be better, but today I had a protein shake in the morning and an entire cheese pizza for lunch/dinner.
After you start off with the protein shake, you boom.
You know what? This is one of the rare days that I was actually in the house like all day. I mean, granted, I was up at 5. I was in Brooklyn by like 6 a.m. and back by like 7:15, 7:30. But I kind of had this thing where it's like, I wanted something. And I'm like, why not? I wasn't planning on doing it, but I did it anyway.
Right.
It's like
tomorrow will be. I'll get it back to normal again.
Sometimes just like that craving hits you out of nowhere, and you just you roll with the punch on it.
I struggle though because I have 2 pizza places local to me. I got the one next door, which is kind of a very Papa John style pizza, but the people are really awesome and they always give good prices. And then there's the one a little further up that's a little bit pricier, but
better.
It tastes better. So I almost feel like I'm cheating on the local one that's right next to me, where I got to sneak the pizza into the house because they are such a cool bunch of people over there that I don't want them to see me eating a different pizza.
I can understand that.
Problems, man. Pizza problems.
I know, dude.
That is, dude. You know what? I'm not gonna say first world problems. No, that is North Jersey problems.
No, North Jersey problem is this: you have the okay bagel place that's like 500 feet from the house, or the really good bagel place across town. That's a Jersey problem.
Yeah, no, because I have one good bagel place. Two. One's kosher, one's not. So if I don't want to be tuna and whitefish, I got to go to the other one. And they're both. I got 3 other bagel places.
I got a bagel place. I got 100 yards from the house. I walk to it. But it's like if I want the good bagels, I got to go across town.
I love
like,
tuna.
Quick check is close. Wawa's across town. What do I want to deal with?
Yeah.
How we suffer.
These South Jersey bagels, they ain't right.
That's not it.
Oh, you guys don't
Young Thug's in the house.
I know. Saw that.
Man, look at him. Looking like
it's cold.
By the way, Astro World is apparently looking at a $2 billion lawsuit after what happened. What was it, last month?
That whole thing. That whole thing makes me so.
Okay. Yes. That's why I had to put that together. I'm still thinking sports.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking Young Thug, and I figured.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand where your brain went. I understand the follow. I didn't follow that whole thing to begin with. That's why I was like, Astro World.
It's just honestly my biggest thing with it right now, or I guess when it was more of a hot topic, was the amount of conflicting reports and just things that you heard, where it's like, oh, somebody didn't know this was happening, or somebody didn't see this or that. It's like, you're really going to insult my intelligence or insult like the people's intelligence and come out with this shit.
Yeah.
It's just,
this is going to sound weird, but Apple's facing the lawsuit as well. And I got to wonder how that's going to affect some of the stuff they have with Apple TV. That $2 billion is not going to come from iPhone sales. They're going to come from something else. But that's more of a me problem than anybody else's problem, really.
No, I think it's going to come from iPhone sales because that's where the money is.
By the way, I looked at that new foldable Samsung.
Yeah.
The price of that goes up to $2,000. Like I said, I dropped this phone, so if you can see, it's got like the line on the side now.
Oh boy.
Oh
yeah.
Oy.
Yeah. So I just got this phone back in like April too. I'm pissed as hell. So, I'm looking at new options. I was looking at the.
You didn't get the Apple Care?
No, I fucking didn't. Thank you. I figured, you know what?
You might still be able to get the Apple Care and have to wait like 2 months. Check it out.
Well, Robin's talking to me about getting a new phone for Christmas. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll figure it out. But yeah, my biggest problem is it's draining the battery a little bit faster than I'd like. Otherwise, it works perfectly fine.
A big line on it.
Yeah.
I thought that was the glare at first.
Yeah.
No, that was a literal line of it. So I was so angry when I did that on Monday. So friggin' pissed. And down goes Mac Jones and possibly out of field goal range.
Week 11 spotlight, they put Dak Prescott, Cowboys, as the picture as opposed to Patty Mahomes.
because it's Fox, so they're advertising NFC.
Okay.
No, they had Herbert. No.
Yeah, but the two teams are playing each other this weekend, though.
Right. Yeah. But Herbert's playing Pittsburgh, so it's two AFC teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Chargers are playing Pittsburgh Sunday night.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe not. I don't forget what I said.
Yeah.
No, you might be onto something.
Because there's something with these stations.
It is up, and it is.
You may be onto something because it was showing 4 different games and a different quarterback for each game. The only game where I thought there was a question on which quarterback they chose was the Cowboy game, because I would have put Patrick Mahomes. But maybe it's Fox, and they went with the NFC quarterback in that game because
they may try and.
Which one's more marketable, though?
Right.
Well,
I mean,
wait. This isn't even Fox that we're watching this game on. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes. No, I got it on Fox here, but also Troy Aikman, maybe. I don't know.
No, because I went back to it because they have Ravens and Bears. That's on CBS.
And they have Lamar.
And they're showing Lamar. I think it's something to do with conference.
Are they showing all the Cowboys?
I don't know.
Well, the Cowboys are the home team that game. So maybe they're showing in the one game where you have a choice of quarterbacks, they're showing the home quarterback. Because the other games, the quarterbacks, I mean, I'm going to show Herbert over Big Ben.
No, because they're showing Herbert and Brady, and they're in.
Yeah, but those other quarterbacks that you're comparing them to are not. It's not a question.
Yeah, no, I get that point, right?
So it's why in the one game where you'd be like, well, which quarterback are you going to show? Did you show? Well, America's team probably has more fans.
Probably, but again, I mean,
yeah, but right now,
who do the people know better, Dak or Mahomes?
Yeah, walking in a mall, who's getting the bigger crowd? Mahomes. It'll be close. No, it'll be very, very, very close. But I think Mahomes would have that extra little bit of.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Because I mean, he's got more. Honestly, because he's got more commercials going on.
He's more personal. He's more. Not that Dak isn't likable. Dak is extremely likable. But yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, I think
if you had to pick one that would draw a little bit individual, I think Mahomes right now still would.
I think so. But again, you're dealing with America's team. It's weird. You're dealing with America's team versus the team that set the Guinness Book of World Record for loudest attendance. So it's a really, really tough sell either way. I think it could have been a coin toss in this.
Well, no, this is old. It's April 25th. Dak Prescott jerseys were outselling Mahomes jerseys.
Hey, earlier in the season, number one selling jersey, Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Wonder what he's up to these days.
Just commentating.
Is that what it is?
I believe so.
What are you up to? He has a Heisman House commercial, apparently.
What's today's date? What's today's date? The 18th?
18th, yeah.
Okay, so going into yesterday, the top 10 jersey sales, I'll go from 10 to 1. Justin Fields.
And does it give a span? Is it just for the week or is it for the season?
To the season up until yesterday.
Okay.
Justin Fields, Jamar Chase, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's 8th.
Lamar Jackson at 5. 7, I'm sorry. Justin Herbert, 6. Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen.
Which Josh Allen?
Probably Buffalo.
Bills Josh Allen.
Fair.
CeeDee Lamb at 3. 2. I'm kind of surprised by this.
Actually.
What?
The drama, you're dragging this down. The drama's killing me a little bit.
You want to take a guess?
I would say Dak or Mahomes, I guess, but
No, I'm gonna guess it's somebody young. Trevor
it's
Lawrence,
got to be a left.
He is a non-quarterback
a young non-quarterback.
for number 2. It might surprise you. I wouldn't guess him.
I mean, I would say possibly Derrick Henry, but no.
T.J. Watt.
Okay.
Okay. All
And
three
number
Watts
one.
are very marketable right now.
Would you like to take a guess for number 1?
I'll let Obi take a crack and decide what he wants to do first.
So, by the way, I would not call it. When I'm saying young, I was thinking first or second year.
But he's on the young side, though, TJ.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Mac Jones.
Scott.
I want to see if this interception was A, an interception, and B, if he ran out of bounds. Tip, caught, and yeah, he definitely has possession. And did he go out of bounds? Yeah, he did.
Okay. Oh, he's definitely out of bounds. I can see it in live time that he's running out of bounds. But
yeah, I was watching both things at the same time. But another Matt Ryan pick. All right, so you said the number 1 jersey sale right now.
J.C. Jackson there. Yeah.
And
Obi says Mac.
What's that?
Obi says Mac Jones.
I would almost say maybe Kyler Murray.
that's a good guess.
1. Yeah, he's in. It is Mac Jones.
Really? Okay. Wow.
So one thing I noticed about that list, and it completely makes sense. That's why I asked if it was a young guy. Because you have your Mahomes jersey already. You have your Prescott jersey already.
You have your Rodgers jersey already, too.
Those two guys shocked me, right? Rodgers
Brady,
and Brady. But Brady's only been there 2 years also.
Yeah, no, Brady does it just because the whole Bucks thing is still new.
But
right. So Rodgers is the real outlier in that he is not. You have your Rodgers jersey
unless you're thinking that he's definitely gone next year, so you stock up on your Aaron Rodgers jerseys.
Maybe.
You're
buying a jersey to burn just in case.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, you know what it was? No, it was people who don't care about football. I wonder what it looked like a few weeks ago.
No, I don't even know where you're going with this.
I don't.
No.
Say this
you know
again?
what? That would be the absolute peak of petty if people did that for that reason. And I know where you're going.
People who don't care about football but have their own opinions on COVID, like, oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers,
yeah, okay.
I knew you were going there, man. Who now they want to take him up as their socio-political hero.
Right, and this is a guy who, say what you want. He's like, I don't want that. That's not what I'm doing here.
So you're saying, so now we're saying anti-vaxxers is the reason why Rodgers jerseys is top selling this year?
I am saying, and you definitely agree with me, and you agreed with me on this point, that he stands out because he has been with his team for so long that the need to buy the jersey has you already have your Rodgers jersey.
Mm-hmm. I have my Rodgers jersey. I wore it weeks ago when they played.
Yeah, so
that's why. Honestly, that wouldn't be a crazy theory, and I just might as well buy into it. I can't think of any other reason.
It'd be interesting, but if you were to go on that list and go back 6 weeks before that happened and see where Rodgers was trending.
Going like what it would be going into the season.
Not into the season, but into right before the COVID. So he had his COVID issue. Was he in the top 10 4 weeks ago? In which case, I would say the defense case does not hold water.
No, the defense is wrong. Are you sure? I'm positive. God, I can quote the shit out of them. That movie's 30 years old next year.
Damn. Could the Patriots really win 28-3?
Here's what I've got. NFL jerseys sold in September 2021.
September 2021. Okay.
Yeah, so basically just a little over a month.
So when the month was when the season started. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can go 10-1 here for a second. Give me a sec. Yes, we can. All right, so we're starting at number 10. We got Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Number 9, Justin Fields.
Okay.
Number 8, George Kittle.
Okay, he's a different one from the list.
Yeah. 7 is Dak.
Who?
Dak.
Dak. Okay.
6 is TJ Watt.
All right.
5th is CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
4th is Patrick Mahomes. 3 is Mac Jones. 2 is Josh Allen. And take a guess what number 1 was.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Not Brady. So Brady has fallen down because the season.
Everybody got him right up front.
Everyone got him right up front. They missed out last year. He's staying. He won them a Super Bowl. Better get that jersey. So everybody else is a lot of people are saying Kittle's in there. Kittle fell out. And who else fell out? Dak fell out.
Mahomes.
Yeah, well, Dak dropped, So
Mahomes fell out.
Mahomes was in that list that you just read, Scott?
Mahomes was on this list, number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers was not.
Aaron Rodgers moved in. And this all goes.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever.
It's complicated.
I hate.
I mean, look, I get COVID tests all the time.
I hate that you're probably right. It really bothers me so much.
I've had 3 COVID tests this week alone.
That's so funny though.
And I'm fully vaxxed because it's just part of the requirement. And you're like, right, fine. You get to know these people pretty well. They shove the thing up your nose for 3 seconds each nostril, and then you're on your way. That's where I was this morning in Brooklyn, 6:15 in the morning. Drive in, COVID test, drive out.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hello. And how are we doing on this fine evening? Assuming that you're somewhere on planet Earth and not somewhere else. So.
And that you're doing fine.
Yes.
And you're on.
I guess who the hell would be in distress or in an emergency and would still have the commitment to interact with us?
Hey, you know what?
Our biggest fans.
Exactly. Yeah. We're building a team here. We're building an extended, internet family, so to speak. Plugging along. Good numbers tonight, by the way.
Plug.
Yes. So, just under 5 minutes left to go. Mac is back. Completed inbound. Burns the clock. Big deal, though. Atlanta only has 1 timeout remaining.
And they're down 16-0. So,
one more field goal, and this is a 3-score game. And again, that offense hasn't done crap all game.
No, basically it hasn't done anything. You know what? That's not true. It had 1 good drive. And he hurt his toe. And I wonder how much a quarterback who's not very mobile to begin with is doing with turf toe.
Yeah, but he's only had 153 yards and two picks on top of it.
Yes.
Matt Ryan's completion percentage is good, but his QB rating is not. It's very not. Mac Jones on this had 21 for 25, 22 for 26, 207, 1-1.
Mac Jones in his well-selling jerseys.
Yes. Well, you know what? I mean, if you're in New England, obviously that's the big thing I'm going to point out. That's probably part of it too. You have all of New England. You've got Connecticut all the way to Maine.
It's a big market.
That's a huge market. And Aaron Rodgers, with Wisconsin, you also go west into the Dakotas and maybe down to Nebraska even too.
Yeah, that's a lot of land. That's not a lot of people.
You're probably all the way out to almost Idaho.
It's a lot of land. Not a lot of people.
Idaho might.
No, Montana, I would give. Idaho, I think, would probably be more Denver or Seattle.
Yeah.
It's so, like I said, in this area, you take it for granted how many sports teams there are. But yeah, if you go to like Idaho, okay, you got college, you got high school, but you got nothing else. It's probably akin to like when baseball had the Pacific Coast League and no teams were out west yet. This game is all but won. I don't know what your score bot thing he said, but yeah, I would say that basically the Patriots are like a 99.999% chance of winning this thing.
I can see what the last punt showed. But I don't think they punted to keep getting intercepted at this point.
They did, yeah. Yeah, like I said, Ryan's had two picks today.
All right. So the last punt is showing, even though the last punt it's showing is at the field goal. They include that in the punt scenario. The recommendation was a toss-up. Basically, a field goal moved it from 98% chance to a 99% chance for them to win.
Sounds a bit right.
And however, had they gone for it and gotten the first down, it would have moved from a 98% chance to a 100% chance, which I don't know how that even works.
No, I think I said it going like I gave the Falcons like 0 chance of winning this game.
Yeah.
No, you were, but you had the closest score. But again, I don't think that's a bad thing because as I said, Belichick coaches to win the game. That's his goal.
Yeah.
So sometimes
to win the game.
Sometimes when his team is much better, he's just not. It's not that he doesn't put the throat down, the pedal down to kill you, but he's got a team that the best way for his team to win is to have a game manager quarterback. The defense does its job. We drive down the field. We don't make turnovers.
He week in and week out, it is the most bulletproof game plan of any team against any opponent and with themselves.
Yeah.
There is nothing that he leaves unturned, unnoticed, nothing that isn't addressed during the week in video, in film sessions, in practice. There is nothing that he misses.
Yeah. And I want to point something out here. With this win, they have the second most wins in the AFC now. So they're only one behind Tennessee and a virtual tie with the Bills. Bills are 6-3, Pats are 7-4. So this is a team that could easily win maybe even 12 games easy.
Yeah.
I think it's plausible.
Now, and they're about to come to the meat of their schedule. This is what a lot of people were saying that I was watching and listening to this week. They're going to beat this team, and then they have 3 tough games, right? Just Titans, Bills, Bills. And the biggest difference in this, they got to beat the Bills. They got to beat them at least once, if not both times, to get the division.
Yeah. The Falcons. I mean, they got the Jags coming.
I think if you're the Patriots, you hope to at least split with Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think at this point, I think you
at the very least.
You talk crush Buffalo.
And the Falcons, win, loss, maybe a win, win. So the funny thing is, Falcons have a need. Falcons really would have been.
They're going to lose all those games, except for the Lions.
Yeah, no, they having lost tonight.
I think everybody is right now.
Having lost tonight, I agree with you, 100%. Not 100%. I agree with your idea that they're probably going to lose those games. Had they won this game,
know what? They'll beat Jacksonville just because of how embarrassing they are tonight. But then
they're going to beat Jacksonville and the Lions because they are better than those teams. They're not great, but they're better than those teams. They're Jacksonville and the Lions. They're here. Atlanta's at the below average, not the stinky level. They're below average. They're not stinky.
Yeah. But I mean, is there really a difference when you fall to something 4-6?
There's a difference when you're trying to predict a game who's going to win, right?
No, you know why I would still kind of almost be a Falcons fan, because chances are I'm also a Braves fan, so I would be milking that World Series win.
You got one out of it, yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? I might. I still got the Braves win.
You don't have, you've lost a hockey team twice though, because you lost the Flames first, and then you lost the Thrashers, who went to Winnipeg. Nobody. We talk about St. Louis losing a football team twice. Nobody remembers that Atlanta lost a hockey team twice. Hey, there it is, America's Game of the Week.
I didn't even remember until you said it.
What's that?
I didn't even remember until you said it.
Yeah. The Falcons. The I would say the Atlanta Flames, I think, went like 79 or 80. That's possible. I think it's
The only thing is, what quarterback is really
So I was
like who are they going to Spencer Radler?
so I was looking at a mock draft today, and Atlanta was picking a quarterback in that mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
Who though?
I don't remember who it was. Not the guy from Liberty. He was going higher.
From Liberty.
Yeah,
But,
that's how good the quarterbacks are this year. The number one pick in the mock draft at quarterback was from Liberty.
But you have to start thinking at this point, the future.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan can't keep doing this, especially, like I said, we talked about,
they're gonna part ways after this season. It's done.
I think,
It is done.
And he'll land. Again, will it be Seattle? Will it be Green Bay? So, and by the way, now it's 19-0. For those of you that have Matt Ryan in your fantasy team, my sympathies.
Way to go, Nick Folk.
Last week.
You got it.
All right, so I just found out what one of the folks who was watching our show is doing instead of watching our show.
I don't. Do we want to know this? Is this safe?
Yeah. He apparently he took in episode 1 and 2 of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, the Netflix one. How was that?
Well, it's definitely its own thing. This is quoting Fan Jexer, a man I don't mind.
I have yet to watch that.
A man I don't mind promoting. Just watched episode 1 and 2 of Cowboy Bebop. It's definitely its own thing, but incorporated a lot of homages to the anime. Overall, it's a lot of fun. At John the Cho is crushing it as Spike. FYI, Bebop Netflix. It's not too late to add Real Folks Blues, please. So I don't know what all that means because I've never seen the anime, but that was Fan Jexer who does the movie thing, does the TV thing.
Can I just rant up? Can I go on an anime rant for a second?
Sure, because we need something.
They're blowing up all the traditional classic anime, and Netflix is taking them all and going live action with them. Cowboy Bebop is just the first step. One Piece is coming next. They've got Yu Yu Hakusho coming in 2023, and it's just like take that one, take that one, take that one, and they're just plucking them all and bringing them all over. And
I think Castlevania is going to be next.
Castlevania was good, but that was its own original series. That was not an anime. That was an anime specifically made for Netflix. It wasn't.
I'm saying just.
Sorry, I see what you're saying. A live action one.
Live action, right?
Yeah. No, what they're supposed to be doing with that is they're supposed to be pushing the storyline ahead to Richter, from my understanding, Richter Belmont. But yeah, yes, thank you. Well, how the fuck are they going to do a One Piece live action? They have already actually put the cast together, and the cast is not bad. But One Piece is gold to those of us that watch the series. It is one of those things that is that priceless anime jewel that you do not touch. And Netflix is just like, fuck it, we're gonna take money with it. And Cowboy Bebop is in that close second kind of thing. But I don't know. Like I said, it bothers me a little bit because I lose a little bit of my identity. Because I've been an anime fan since 1992. And I legit, not talking like watching stuff and then not realizing, I'm talking legit 1992. I followed Dragon Ball Z when it was still airing the Buu Saga in Japan. So for me, I look at what's happening here, and I'm just like, well, it's losing a lot of stuff. It's watering stuff down, and I lose that unique geek side to myself. But anyway, irrespective of that, moving on. And hey, look at that, an interception. To the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and in for the touchdown. And that is basically the icing on the shit cake that is Matt Ryan's night.
No, I think that's Josh Rosen's night.
Is that Josh Rosen? Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Icing on the shit that is the Atlanta Falcons night.
It's the career of Josh Rosen.
So,
hey, at least he tried to make the tackle.
Yeah, but God,
they just lay down in a bed of Rosen. That was terrible.
Nice little Bon Jovi reference.
I like that. I go to Twitter, read about Fan Jexer. We start talking about what he was talking about on Twitter, and he joins us, and he wants to talk about football.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, I got my little rant out of the way there. This game is turning. I said 28 points. They're at 25. Actually, missed the extra point there. So Folk, good job, Nick.
They
Folk.
did it
Yeah,
on
shit right
purpose
there.
so they can let Atlanta drive down the field, kick a field goal, then they'll go down the field, kick a field goal, and win 28-3.
Exactly. Ooh, nice.
That's a lot of time to get two field goals.
But basically, you throw it in the towel when you're putting your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, Bill was definitely like, "Yo, shank this. Let him get down there. We'll kick a field goal, 28-3. Haha."
Yeah. And be like, so. Tommy
Yeah, look at
Wiseau
Nick
eats
Folk
your heart
looking
out.
over there. He's like, "Bill, I got you. Don't worry."
What's this arcane that Fan Jexter's telling us to watch?
I've heard about it. I haven't gotten around to it. Like I said, I'm too busy working through Samurai Champloo in One Piece right now. So.
Okay.
And Cowboy Bebop, the original one.
Me, I'm catching up from 2005 on the Boondocks.
Boondocks first 3 seasons great, 4th season not so much because Aaron Magruder and the other guy weren't involved.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, that's a gutsy show. That was a very gutsy show for Adult Swim.
Yes.
I remember watching that.
Here's the world I live in. My 16-year-old just turned 16 today. Decided to sat down with. He's first of all the one who introduced it to me, and then today we watched it with him and my parents. Episode 3, the introduction of a pimp named Slickback.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I was going to say basically, if you're going to watch anything, that first episode where Uncle Ruckus is singing, I watched that at work without headphones. Yeah,
but you're an actor. You were just checking out what Regina King.
No, I was working IT at Stevens Institute.
Okay.
And I was working a second shift. So by 7, 8 o'clock, nobody was there except like the fellow IT guys.
Wait,
like the students that were there. And I'm like, I'm gonna throw this on. Does anybody care? I was like, no.
Wait, what were you just saying with Regina King?
Oh shit! Are you kidding me?
I don't wait. No. He didn't just throw another pick 6.
Oh, this is Frank's now. I don't even know who that is.
Bro, nah.
Yeah, okay, that's that's not a pick 6, but it is a pick.
Oh my god.
Who's Frank's?
It is my youngest son's birthday.
It's gonna be 28-0.
Yes,
and I will.
We haven't addressed this, but happy birthday to your son there. So
He don't watch. He don't need to hear us.
He's like that. He's like the Tracy McGrady and Reggie Miller of interceptions.
Hey, well, was it which son was it? Sammy or was it Sammy or him that got geeked out over Masako X from Team Sport?
It was him. It was him.
Okay, all right.
God,
I got to talk to him about bringing him in for Formula One.
I mean, Sammy was interested and thought it was cool, but Alex was.
Yeah, Alex went 10 level geek when when we had Lawrence on. Yeah, so you actually look good in the eyes of your son.
Yes, Alex of the Street Runners here on Twitch. Since we'll just do that, and we of course are Stream Punk Sports here on Twitch, but you can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram,
Twitter hold the S,
and YouTube, but Twitter hold the S. Everywhere else it's Stream Punk Sports.
It looks just like that. Because they only allow 15 characters. If you type to 16, they'll probably take it anyway. It's like dialing one extra number in an area.
Especially if you just Google searched it, it would take you right to it. So.
Instagram right now, far and away, is the strongest of the social media ones out there. Also, daily trivia goes in there. So, by the way, I wanted to point out what we had today. Today in history, in 1949, Jackie Robinson was voted National League MVP. That went up there. So you can learn some little tricks.
There you go. Oh, he's uniquely me. He is definitely not listening.
And he read this below. Yeah, actually, this will be the one thing that he ends up seeing, and he'd be like, "Dad, I saw that."
Yeah, no, he's actually. I believe Pokemon's dropping tomorrow, and that's what he's getting.
By the way, I just want to point out that as soon as Uniquely Me posted about getting a new phone, the number of views on Twitch just skyrocketed. So maybe it's your son.
Hey everyone, come here! Convince this guy to get his son a new phone.
By the way, put it in
If
the
you
chat.
do, get the 13.
Should Obi get his son a new phone?
No, he's.
Let us know in the comments.
I think he may still be sitting at the 8.
Okay. Well, I got an iPhone 10 here, but
That's what I have. I think
I'm at 13 Pro Max, 1 terabyte.
Nice.
The most I could get.
So, but I basically at this point I got nothing else. If you guys want to keep going, it's up to you.
No, I'm ready to bid adieu to our faithful and loyal fans who were really all over us today. Thank you guys, all of you, for your chat comments. Really appreciate it.
Sure we're over an average of 3 for every show now.
Look at this. We got a perfect 3-hour stream here.
Yeah, 3 hours and 14 seconds.
All right.
So, nice short game today.
Good job. Yeah, and you didn't jinx the game in terms of its length, although its quality was lacking. We'll be back next Sunday night, though, for the lovely Pittsburgh Steelers playing the exciting Justin Herbert and the San Diego Chargers.
And then on top of that, we have, I was going to say, my Giants again, going to get their asses royally handed to them by a pissed-off Tom Brady at home with the Bucs. That's not going to be a good game. You're going to watch me suffer. And if you like basically watching Giants fans suffer, it's going to be right in your wheelhouse. So anyway, that comment I'm not going to post. But all right. So anyway, thank you guys as always for tuning in. The numbers are getting better every single show. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Monday Night Beatdowns, as JD is calling it. Yes, I think that's the way we may word this. So yes, we're going to go that direction with that. For myself, I'm Scott Schertzen. Over there is Mr. Obi Spencer, and over there is Mr. Brandon K. Down there is the final for your game. In this case, New England 25, Atlanta, a goose egg. So thanks as always for tuning in. Any final thoughts, gents?
I'm good. Good night.
Good to go.
Have a good night, guys.
Enjoy your
Cheers.
days tomorrow.